A moment on this conference that I went for in Nairobi, when the South African Minister of Transport stood up in the gathering where there are political parties from all over the world, and he said to me, he said, I want to applaud Liberia because your election was so tight, hotly contested, and President Boakai only defeated President Weah less than 30,000 votes. And yet, President Weah conceded. He said, you people should continue that democracy. I was proud. I'm going to say anyway, therefore, President, we have to concede and keep our democracy on the path it is. It's something, of course, I'm proud of, and I'm happy he did that. I will praise him any day for that, because not many Africans can do that. Look, let's stop all these political noise. When people do something good, praise them. He could have stayed in power like other people. Yes, he could have done that. When President Boakai...
Well, today is a happy moment, and let me ask the choir to join me just one stanza of the song. You know, I can sing, so the choir will help me. To God be the glory, great things have done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a seat. Well, thank you. Pastor Winger. Pastor Winger, please be careful before I take your puppy one day. Madam VP Joy Howard Taylor, Your Honor, Chief Justice, Honorable Speaker Buffer Chambers, Pro Tempore Abu Chair, the clergy and pastors, and I want to thank my friends in the international community, our partners. It's been a hectic month, coming from the FOCA, coming from the European Union, and then going to the States. And everything we did was in the interest of the Liberian people. So we must thank God for the great thing he has done. I said to my partner, thank you again. But you see, Liberians, you know, I've been on the pulpit for so many times. And good to be here. If you give me 10,000 speeches and want me to deliver it, I prefer coming to the altar. Because this is where God listens to who saying the truth or who telling lies. You see, let me start by saying, you know, when we were young coming up, the rationale in our thinking to know what is good and what is bad, we didn't care. We go into games, school games, we get on the bus, And the driver is very prudent. And then we tell the driver, everybody wake up, beat it, driver, beat it. Without our worry. Beat it, driver, beat it. Without our worry, beat it. When the driver accelerate, and everybody in the bus, oh, you want kill, pour down. So, Liberians, let us not wish for something that we don't want. Be there, driver, be there without our worry. No, don't die. You know, so let me say it again. A big thank you, because the entire world was watching when our own citizens were protesting everywhere, calling for United Nations, the world not to help Liberia, because they believe that some 16 billion lost. Beat it, driver, beat it. We died our worry. But when they can't speak, they say you want chaos. We are a country that guided by laws. We have a constitution. You see, in this room, the only person that not supposed to know the constitution are me. Because I'm the only person that don't know nothing. All of you are clever. But I can interpret the constitution. Thank you. The only person that can interpret the constitution is supposed to be me. Because I'm the one that don't know nothing. All of you, your professor, your clever, your master degree holder, what have you. But simple rationale. We have laws in the country. When people ask you to be patient, let the law take a course, that's the time you rebel. And you know, in any rebellious act, there's casualties. Your children are supposed to be leaders of tomorrow. You think jumping in the street are the best way. Oh, we need to change our attitude. One journalist wrote that 9 billion lost. Another one wrote 16 billion lost. Then the government said, okay, let's smoke there, maybe fire there. So let us now ask those people that are responsible what happened. And we told you, relax. We are going to the international community because we don't want to be the judge at the same time. We want to ask our international partners to bring in forensic people, and bring FBI, and bring the ECWA, so they can help us to ascertain if it is true or not. But you get in the street, you calling for international sanction. The government that was in power, that had a right to print money, you don't have to sanction them. That we have not even put allocation to print money. That we don't want for the sanction. The government said, thank you. Since we came, it's been 8 months. As the Senate, as the House of Rep, if the proper government are ever ready to allocate money to come to the country, and you know, we couldn't forget. You forget to know that the issues I was senator before, and the records on the books that even the money, the first money that I allocated, I refused to sign. And the only reason only reason I refuse to sign is not because I wanted Liberia to suffer. No. I believe that campaign coming, it was not the right time to print money. You want to move the mutilated money from the market. You want to bring in money. You can use that money until the campaign finish. When new government comes, you can print money. On that basis, I did not sign. The second one, they were looking for a resolution. Some of my colleagues signed. Whether it was legitimate, I don't know, but I did not pen that paper. So, what I'm saying to you, since the issue came out, the best way to do it is in a peaceful manner. It's not to tell people on the street, children got to go to school, people got to go to work, the country got to move, and then we jump in the street and say, our 16 billion loss, we want it. Job money we are, you barely, your whole on 9th Street. When I started building homes there, hello. When we start building homes in the country, we were not in government. So we need to be careful. This is a government. We're not playing yet. Our international partners know we have meeting the other day. I told them every quarterly, the journal will have meeting to know our operations, to make sure that no one, even my Anna we are, will not temper with anything that Liberian people get. Because there's no need to. So we need to be careful. You ask for international sanction for money that lost. Now let me say something to you. Let's say something that hypothetically, we say that 16 billion was stolen. So if the country cheat is 17 billion, that you know the bogo, they get a continent, you put it in the pound. If the country cheat is 17 billion, how is that possible for somebody to steal 16 billion? They talk about inflation of 250. You have 17 billion, somebody takes 16 billion? Come on now. Come on. We got to think, because, 1989, coming to December, I came for vacation when the president told me that he's closing the airport. It's the first time I cried. I've never cried in my life before. My father died, I walked by the castle, I passed. I've never cried before, but when they said that they're closing the airport, I asked why. They said insurgency. Who? They said rebel then coming. Who is the rebel? Liberians. Who are the rebels? Is it American coming to fight us? No, our own people. Why? So if you have problem with the leadership, you think the best thing to do is to bring guns on your own people. We got to be serious there. We got to be serious. And it's not no joke. That's not a joke. That's not a joke. We are peacekeeping success. Aside from the UN, we are peacekeeping success story. We are taking care of our own security. What we can do is to ask our partner to help our logistics so we can make sure that all our borders are secure. We can help to patrol. Because we're fighting global terrorism. And we here joking and we think that it's good. But now, if you look at the video, you see people that say 16 billion loss, and you see people in the street running, say they protesting. What are the Liberians? What were you people? You should have been in the street. Now the people that say 16 billion loss, they put themselves together in the street. The same people. But remember, their government functioned for 12 years. We were opposition. When we got in the street, they were shooting at us. People were dying. How many protests? Our human rights, we want a war because things was not good. But they took guns and ammunition against us. Just the other day, they went in the street. Police gathered them to exercise their franchise. Simply because we know within a country of law, everyone has the right. But your rights, don't abuse your rights. Make sure that when you go in the street, it should be.
What do you make of the current situation in your community?
Surely so, you know, for one fight, I'm even blaming the weight that we are. If we talk about national community agreement, there are nobody should live from one place to another to cross with arm. So actually, I'm angry with what happening. And in fact, speaking before you, I'm angry and I also blame the government, Liberia government, not Guinea government, but I blame the Liberia government.
Why do you say you blame the Liberia government?
Thank you. As far as concerned, starting from the ordinary president, no one have crossed and accused us that here is their land. But whenever we receive our own say, or brother, father, order come, new coming in the recent president accusing us that here is their land, and no step we have seen them taking. For me, I blame the Liberian government, not Guinea government. But I blame the Liberian government, and we have security that with arm when the people were crossing, they never take any step because of order given to them that whenever the people are crossing, nobody should take step. No one should insult them. No one should sort it with them, and no one should even abuse them or tell you people. And now the building now in our line. So much as far as I'm concerned, I don't blame or the Guinea government, but I blame our government that they, in fact, that they saw some of us. So for me,
what do you mean to show you?
selling oil is, as I told you, international community, that no one should live from one country to another country to cross in next country with arm.
So what do you want the government to do now?
I want government to take steps that the people should leave our land, or either they should tell us that yes, indeed, these people is their land. We the Liberian, we do have right. We want for these people to really declare, so we can move in the warriness. If we are to or be our Guineans, let the people show the land instead of all damage, because we get from war, we scared of war. But when government know actually about that Guinea as the one that own the place, let them show up.
A nation, we can succeed. Remember, after me, somebody will come, and how we treat that person, will develop this country.
You keep talking about the peace, Mr. President. Are you afraid this country could go back to what it was before? Is there a fear?
No, I'm not afraid. I'm just being cautious. And then I want Liberians to know that our past was not a beautiful one. War is never a beautiful thing.
So, fellow Liberians, home and abroad, it's a privilege again for us to be on here, and we are so grateful that again we have another opportunity where we can sit as family to be able to discuss issues that are unfolding in Liberia. Again, to all of you, please, we want to say you are welcome. Hit for us the share button, invite a friend, invite a family member. Let's sit and have a wonderful conversation. Like we always say here, you have your right to disagree, that which we respect. But all we want to say is that in your disagreement, you don't have to be very, very abusive. You don't have to use any insultive language. You can be as strong, as very passionate, as very straightforward to your point. That is okay. But I don't think there is a need for you to insult anybody to get your point across. Because when you insult, in the mind of the next person, they see that you are limited. You don't have that particular, one would say, intellectual ability to be able to provide a convincing information to convince the next person. So you believe that, well, I'm defeated, so let me just insult. But I want to thank each and every one of you, because over the period, we have never had an incident where we've, gone very ballistic and abusive on each other. I know sometimes the conversation is very hot, the conversation is very heated, but we are able to maintain ourselves. So again, hit for us the share button. It's going to be a wonderful time today. Hit for us the share button. Let's have a very good interaction. And the comment section, let's make use of it. And we will give you a period for you to call after our discussion. We will call, the number. You already know the number there. And let's have a wonderful interaction. Today, we are grateful to be joined by our brother, Elton Legend Wisse. He is one of our funniest. Has been with us on the platform here, and we are grateful that he always make it his duty, to provide information, whether be it in the comment section or doing the call-in segment. He always provides information. Those information may not be something that some may like, but again, that is the information that he has relative to a particular issue, and that's what he want to, to bring forth. So again, I want to say welcome, my brother Wisse. Thank you so much for always making the time, to join us, especially during your free time. I know no time is free for all of us because we have family to take care of, we have work, we have everything. But I'm grateful that at least within your busy schedule, you can still take off time, to come so we can have a discussion. I salute your presence and I want to say welcome again to you. Welcome, sir.
Prince, always my pleasure. Can you hear me clearly?
Loud and clear. Yes, sir.
Thank you. It's always my pleasure joining your platform, and I respect you. I respect your platform a lot, and I like how you started the show just now. And I'm going to add on to that and further buttress what you said just now. Look, the lack of verbiage, the lack of words is what causes people to insult when they don't have the proper diction to reply to somebody's statement to them. Usually intelligent people don't use profanity easily. I mean, every once in a while, somebody can say something to you or language, but you check your emotion and reply because it's about issues and substance. It's not about sentiments. When you base your argument on sentiment, that way you fall short because you apply yourself in the wrong way. And I would add to that by saying, my father, Councilor, we said did not send me to school to waste my mass communication degree that I have to use foul language when it's not warranted. I will try my hardest to use words appropriately. So yeah, I'm glad you put that out there. I mean, the ordinary person in the comment section can use whatever choice words, but somebody who is a panelist on a reputable platform that people respect and come to air or their view, to some extent you should have control over. I mean, somebody can push you to the edge, but as a decent human being, as an educated person, as a level-headed person, you should be able to control what comes out of your mouth because it's direct representative of who you are. Thank you, brother.
Thank you so very kindly. Again, we want to welcome our brother, Detroit Wilmot. How are you, Jake?
Yeah, salute to you, brother, and to the other brother, Elton. Salute to you and to the followers. We here again have to share this video. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so very kindly, and we are grateful again. Joined by our other colleagues, we will be joined by them, and we have a wonderful time. So, I want us to begin the discussion on something a bit, somebody will say at least on a low temperature. Then we can start to graduate from one end to the other. I want to play us a video, and I just want us to have our own, take on this particular video because it is concerning. I want us to listen to this story of a little child. This little child will come from school. She lived in the Satan area. She will come from school and will always pass in this particular lady yard. Go there and go pick golden plum or however they call it to eat. I mean, a late child. She will pass from school. They will go in the lady yard, pick golden plum, and they will eat it. So this day, this woman, decided to maybe just catch her because the lady, according to her, was afraid. She didn't want for this girl to be climbing the tree God forbid, when this girl fall from that particular tree, nobody will see that the woman didn't have any fence around the tree. The first thing they will say, you sit down here, somebody child go climb tree, they fall down, and they will start to blame her. So she decided to apprehend this particular little child and put the child on video, was just asking the child whether her intention was to correct the child, was to put this out there, or was just for educational purposes. We don't know, but I will play the video. So she was asking them, why you keep doing this thing? You will come, you're climbing the tree, you will pick the plum and all the other stuff. So I want us to listen to it, and I want us to have our take. How do you view this video? Let me play this here, just a few minutes, and then we can start on this before we get to the main. Somebody will say the project issue across everything. Let's listen to this video.
You're not doing that? No, because every time you come from school, you're going a tree. That's not rap, we're not even fought. You go, you taking it. Oh, you forcing me? You forcing it? Sorry on me? Your man know about it. Your man know about it. What your man leaving? Yes, somebody go call your man there. No. Satan? I know Satan. I know Satan. Let the boy go Satan go call your man. Eh? No, no. The bomb go your hand for it. No. Jenna. Hey, man. Oh, we call it thing on the door. Oh, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Wow, we're coming from school. You can go play in the tree. So when you fall off on the tree, what's happening with you? You know that we didn't want to go. You know.
So I want to stop this right here, and I want us to have just 1 minute 30 seconds each. It is not all the videos, a 10-minute video, but I'm not going to play all because of the time and other issues we have to discuss. But the short of the story is that this lady will always not she alone. They'll come from school, climbing the tree, pick the green golden plum to eat it. They will always do that. So this day, the woman caught her and decided to just put it on a video so she can show it and the rest of it. But in my view, what is concerning in this particular video, one, has to do with the safety of the child, the security of the child. Two, for this child to see a golden plum tree as an alternative, to eat after school, it rings bell in my ears. But again, I just want to leave it as it is and allow my brother Wissel to begin with this particular, video. My brother, how do you look at that particular video? What's your own perception?
It's beautiful. I'm glad you played that video. It kind of gave me a reason to retrospect on all those things. I'm sure one way or the other, each and every one of us grew up in Liberia, and we've done exactly that. We've climbed trees in people's yard and picked plum. We've, found food at the back of people's home. But I want to add this. That's a very educated video, and let me add this. I was speaking where I lived in the state of Maryland. Say you were riding, hypothetically, you were riding a dirt bike. Because young people do it all the time, especially very prominent in Philadelphia. I live in Philly, but I live in Maryland. But if you are riding a dirt bike in your neighborhood with a helmet, you can do that. But if you are caught by the police or say you become unfortunate and you were involved in an accident or something happens and the police get called, that when there's a ramification for your poor decision to ride a bike without a helmet. And you can read about the state of Maryland. It's very tough. Especially I live in Montgomery County, Maryland. If you get caught a helmet riding a bike, they're going to really stiff you with something tough, or your payment is going to be very, 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 very sharp. They're going to stiff you very hard. So yeah, there are things that you would do to get away easily, but when you are caught, you have to pay the price. So that's a very costly lesson for each and every one of us. It's okay to do some things, But what happens when you get caught in that, you can pay for it, and it can be costly at times. So I like that video a lot. I'm gonna leave it as a lesson to learn.
Thank you so much. Thank you. My brother Jake, what is your own take on that particular video that we just played?
For me, it's a little bit sad for me, because the country is tough, to tell you reality. The country is, no matter what, the country is hard. We've been a poor country long time. The country is hard, man. We that grew up we experience these things, but not that kind of age. We never claimed tree that kind of age and things then. If you look at the video, she always doing it to that particular, she will come in that particular yard, claim the tree for plum or whatsoever. But if you look at the video, when the woman said, go call your mom, blah, 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 she started to cry. It's simply trying to tell you, if you look at it, you got to be extra, but if you look at it, she afraid of mom. She afraid of mom. To now involve her mom. If you check it out, reality, that girl having trouble at home, serious trouble at home. She afraid of her mom. You know, it's different these days, because at that particular age, you should be picking your child from school at that particular age. But you see small children like girl will be walking by themselves. Nobody, 4-year-old, 5 years old, nobody will pick up them from school. A part of our culture now, yes, a part of our culture is plenty in the country, no matter what. You see small children walking, someone they're crossing the road, they're breaking, all kind of things. So a little bit troubling. I mean, that particular girl, she now, the way I want to say that she's suffering at home, man, to find ready food to eat. It's not easy. Even she left plum, but that unusual thing, it was good for that woman to video her, because she go climb that plum tree, and anything happens, she break her hand. You know how Liberian people would say, oh, that woman, that the people they in the yard because the leg gets small. So she decided to make that video, and I see the video going viral. But a little bit troubling. Yeah, she not rest. She not okay at home. Something probably bothering the leg. If somebody can go beyond the scene, acquire from the parents, the man, well, you cannot pick up your daughter from school. That probably like get a 5-year-old, 4 years old, something like that, claiming plum trees and things, risking yourself. But to tell you, they got many children that die in our country. The other one, but she lucky she going to school. They got other children not going to school at all. They take some of the children from the villages. Some people brought them in the city to live with them. They're doing the work. They particularly get someone after someone they won't lucky. She going to school. They get other small children in the school. I mean, Liberia. They take them from the village. They lie to the family and back home. I mean, the interior. Bring them Monrovia. They selling for the old man. They selling for the papi then. They told in the cold water them between the car. I will go for vacation in the country. We can see a lot in the country. 5-year-old, 6-year-old, then they selling. They will get tired. They rest. It's troubling, man. We're having serious problem in our country. Yeah.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. You know, before I speak to that video, I want to play a very short video. It's a 1-minute video in connection to that video. This lady is living in the area where that demolition exercise went on in Satan. That's where she living. And I try my best because, you know, in that area is my area. I know that whole Satan area. You know, lived down there for 4 years. I know that particular area. I can close my eyes and draw the map of that entire place. You know. So when I saw that video, I tried to check. And this girl will be in this particular video that I'm about to play. Yeah.
In the process. Yes. So how do you feel about this whole process as been carried on? I feel bad. Because I'm more than the horses and the girl. When I went on and I'm paid for all to go to school, will not go to school. Then they can't.
You see the leg girl that is right on the right hand side of this particular, sorry, the left of this board that is talking to where Arvin photo is the leg girl. I'm going to play the video and you will see her face in this. Is that leg girl? That leg girl that was in the uniform. She's the one right near this board. Let me play this here.
Okay.
Just observe the picture.
And
This is
you're
her.
also
In the red
involved in the process.
short sleeve,
So
or somebody will say sleeveless, something like blacks. It's not red but pink.
how do you feel about this whole process that has been carried on?
I feel bad because I'm more than the horses and the girl. When I went on and I pay for all to go to school, when I go to school, then they can't break our horses and from here, nowhere to go, nowhere to stay. Sleeping in school building there, in the school building, so now when I sleep, I was sleeping on the kitchen and the places now was sleep.
You currently go to school?
Yes,
Which school?
I go to Koramwasi,
Your class?
6th grade.
Okay. Is there anyone else?
I'm sorry. What I see in this video is systemic failure. That's what I see. It's neglect of the very, somebody will say, the nuclear of the society, which is the family. I was told when we were coming up back in grade school down the line, we say the family is somebody will say the foundation of the society. When the family is damaged, absolutely no question to ask, the society is damaged. That lady, I don't know, but I saw her she right in the picture there. I will after this video, I will try to do it so people can see it. She was right near that board I was talking. Now it is possible. I don't know if but it is possible that her family home was broken from that particular exercise. And this lady is maybe living somewhere with a family member. I mean, her mother or the entire family, they are squatting somewhere. When this girl go to school, that God of Mercy school is the same school that lady attending. So when she go to school, at the end of the day, you can deduce that she don't even have it to eat. Because I remember when we were coming up, like you said, when we were doing these things, it was not because we're hungry. We're doing it for fun, we're doing it for just, appetite.
Yes.
So we
Mm-hmm.
all did it. I agree. Definitely, like you said, we all did it. Coming back, I grew up in Lokintown, Nukutown, on the Bushwa Island there. We used to do this thing. We saw it as fun. Sometimes we do it in order for us to take this plum, go sell it, so we can get money to play Mao, or let's say we can sell it for Mao at all. But we wasn't doing it because we were hungry. In fact, before going to school, we are already filled.
But in
We
school,
were
say, we have food in school. You feel forget it?
definitely,
We the old school people.
sure, even if we don't
In
have
the
food,
government school, ne?
you will always have some kind of
We are careful. They call it
yeah,
careful a lot of time.
you will always have something like 5 or 10 cents, to buy your coming color when you coming, or you buying your grumpy, then eating it, you coming. So when you see us doing those things, we're not doing it because we're hungry. We're doing it for fun. We're doing it, young people together, you want to be part of the phrase and etc. etc. But it is possible that this lady, she might not even have it to eat, even while going to school. So she see that as an alternative. That when I come in, let me pass to the plum tree, let me pick the plum for me to eat it. Because when I go home, I will not see food there. Mama will not cook. It's possible that this girl, her parents' house was broken down. And the medium that they used to use to hustle and get money, maybe your lay with market and things like that, they have spent all of that money that they will not even be able to provide for her immediately when she comes from school. Because when we were coming up, before you come from school, mama, the food, the chew already done. They chew there. Or you get some kind of thing that you will mush on before you even start playing or start watching DJ for all the other things. But looking at this latest story, that's what we said the last time. Some of these demolition exercises that is going on, you may not see the big people in the street crying, but it will affect these kids, these children. And I just thought to say it, but it's unfortunate. I am trying to reach out. I saw 1 or 2 persons in that area. I'm trying to reach out to that particular, the person who I reached out to, maybe by Monday or so, they will get back to me. I just want to get to that girl mother, talk to her. I don't want to do it maybe on an open platform. I want to do it behind the scene. Get to her, talk to her, and see what we can do, you know, as individual, what we can do. But it's sad. It's very sad.
Prince,
I
if you
want
don't
to
mind, give me 30 seconds to say something about that.
yeah, go ahead. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
my brother. Only one reality Liberian we see people with children, you know, staying in such a condition, like the way the people homes were demolished and not empathize, not share in the people's feeling, because we are all Liberian at the end of the day. I'm a team, though I support this government, but I think the way in which the homes were destroyed and the people were left on their own to fend for themselves, it was wrong. No father like I am will see another person's child struggling and not share in the feeling. As you are talking about a little girl, I'm thinking about my own daughter who is a little bit older than that child. So I put myself in the feeling of that child because I also have a daughter. And I think the government should find a reason to help our people, find shelters for them, and do it in a little proper way. Should the buildings be broken down? Certainly, because the city is clustered up. The amount of people that Monrovia should host is way above the limit because of the war. There are so many people who left their villages, who were living comfortably before the war, left their counties, left the outskirts of Monrovia and moved to Monrovia because they had to seek job opportunities. They have to move closer to other family members who had it to help them. But Liberia, capital Monrovia, is a little overpopulated, and it is not a wrong thing to break homes down, but it should be done appropriately, meaning they should find a way to help the people with shelter. Then they can break those homes down. That way our people don't be exposed, and more so, the children. For instance, if a little girl like that is in a place overnight and that place is not conducive, she could get sexually violated, for lack of a better word to put it, and anything could happen to her. So I empathize with her and any other child out there, and I think it's hard time I use the platform for government to do better. That's what patriotism. Stand with country first before whomever leader that is, because I don't have a party. I'm not a UPist, but I support this president. I just wanted to add that out.
Thank you so much. So Jake, before you come in, I know you want to come in. Before you come in, you remember during the State of the Nation address, President Boakai told us that they had this program, school feeding program in place. But go ahead, sir.
Do you mean that thing of their political rhetoric to come to power? Let me say something. Besides demolition, let me tell you, I'll be honest here. You know me, and I'll call it spade or space here. The Liberian men, they abandoned the nucleus family in Liberia. Let me tell you that the reality, we are men, but more men in the Republic of Liberia, they abandoned these beautiful women. So you can see the women struggling with these children. They have multiple women, children all over the place. You know why? Because no job in the country. It's an old age problem. This problem here is an old age problem. Since 179 years old, Liberia, the oldest independent nation. So it's an old age problem. So every man, they abandon that responsibility. They born all over the place because the population high now, the women more than the men. They don't take on responsibility. They lead a responsibility. If you look at if you can go to Monrovia, we can go to Monrovia every year, a other time. You get no straight a high in the country because the men abandon that responsibility because most of them don't have no job and other things then, no way out for them. So it's a hard thing. It's a difficult thing. They don't want, so they abandon the women. So the women have no choice. They're struggling. They're managing themselves with their children. Maybe some of them have 2 to 3 children. They're born at early age. Yeah, so it's difficult for the country. Yeah, it's very difficult for the next generation of Liberians. Yeah, so it's sad. It's sad. And I'm talking about the demolition. The country is tough, highly tough.
Thank you so much. We want to move to the next issue that has to do with what is of concern, both nationally, internationally, and to all of us who are patriotic Liberians. It has to do with this issue of the Liberia and, Guinea issue, especially at the Slumber border, the border there between Liberia in Lofa and that of Guinea. From what we are looking at, from all of the reports that we are getting, it seems as if things are not getting better. Sometimes it's difficult to say, but that's the reality. It seems as if this thing is escalating. And from my endpoint, I might be wrong, I think the government is playing politics than being realistic to the people of Liberia. I want to play this video, and I want Liberians for us to watch this video.
Are rising after reports that Guinea has begun sending massive reinforcements toward the Liberian border. A video circulating on Guinean state media appears to show the country's president handing a Guinean national flag to a soldier, symbolizing a renewed military deployment. According to the translated broadcast, the troops seen in the video are being deployed directly to the Liberian border. This comes after a dramatic confrontation last week when Guinean soldiers allegedly crossed onto Liberian soil and raised their flag, sparking outrage among local communities. Now, the situation is rapidly escalating. The crisis began along the Liberia-Guinea border, where reports say Guinean soldiers crossed into territory claimed by Liberia. During the incident, a Guinean flag was reportedly raised on what Liberian authorities say is Liberian land. The move immediately triggered anger among local residents. In response, Liberian youth mobilized quickly, reportedly armed with sticks and machetes. Videos from the scene show large groups confronting the Guinean soldiers. According to witnesses, the youth forced the Guinean soldiers to retreat across the border, removing the Guinean flag from the area. The dramatic standoff quickly drew national attention. Following the confrontation, the Liberian government moved quickly. Liberia deployed armed forces of Liberia troops to secure the border area. Officials say the deployment was meant to protect Liberian.
That you did what any patriotic citizen would have done yesterday. In the absence of national security.
I want to stop this video right here, and I want us to go into the discussion because these are things that we've seen, we've heard of, we've been following. The President of the Republic gave a 10-minute speech or address to the nation. And in that particular speech, it was unfortunate that nothing substantive, in my view, was actually captured in that State of the Nation address. In my view, it was ambiguous. It lacks basic information, and it left the people in more fear. I want to start from you, my brother Elton. You can take the next 3 minutes. We can ask questions in between. You've been following this issue. What is it that is happening that this government is not telling us? Yesterday, it was the people retreated. Day before yesterday, they crossed over. Now, today, we are seeing videos around of Guinea, mobilizing their soldier to take full charge of that identical border point. Let's hear from you, sir. What you think in your view is happening?
Certainly, Prince. Let's just say this with us Liberians who are more so patriotic than placing a political view first. And this is how I'm going to address this issue. Since the war, what is post-war era, Liberia have not had a very strong military force. I think at present, our military, I don't think it exceeds 4,000 or maybe not even close to that member of the Armed Forces of Liberia, AFL. So the most a president can do today would be take a diplomatic approach. And I think Joseph Boakai in his week, we tried to go out there because of the Manoriwa Union, go out there with the president of Guinea and have talks. Because the reality is to face another country, you have to have the might to face them. And we know, and I know that the military might right now, we are lacking in that. except maybe post-war will be that of the time of the man who waged or insurrection in the country, Charles Taylor, because he was a rebel and he became a president. So maybe he would have used his guerrilla warfare tactics and counter Guinea. But the current army that we have today, you know, and any level-headed Liberian knows that we cannot withstand any country that has the fighting force. And so was it in the last government. If it was President Weah turn, he was just taking the same approach, go to Guinea and try to negotiate for the obvious reason we don't have the military might today. And I think we should stick with that path, considering our history. We just had a prolonged period of war. We just fought a lengthy war, so we don't need to fight another war. Now, if there was internal wrangling or counties, was a county, we could, you know, president could step out and be a little more forceful and handle that situation. Go ahead.
Yeah, so to just ask you this question, you're talking about, you know, you appreciate the diplomatic, you know, kind of medium that the government is using to be able to resolve this issue and etc. But from all indication, are you seeing any improvement? The reason why I'm asking, because the first time this thing happened, we saw Guinean crossing in Kino to come over, and we saw Liberians, you know, going there and saying no, and there was this kind of scaffold here, there, you know, and they went back. And the next day, we saw President Joseph Newman Boakai going to Guinea, according to him, you know, for a discussion, etc., etc. And immediately he returned, we saw a full deployment of the Guinean military at that particular place. Yesterday, we saw helicopter in the air. So, do you think that this diplomacy is really yielding results?
Let me be realistic with the issue. Here's the issue. Considering our might today, I think there's the best option for the take is to maintain diplomacy and try to strengthen our military. Because think about it, usually when somebody speaks first when you in our local parlance, it's because they feel they can beat you or they feel they can withstand your strength. Guinea knows we are weak in that area, and it's a reality. We don't have a strong military force today, and we need to start working on that. But in the interim, while we do that, I prefer we keep it at a diplomatic level. And we saw it. Guinea is trying to be forceful. But what are you going to do today? If someone is, I'll give you an example, hypothetically. If you, Prince, have 2 knives and a pistol with you, and I only have a piece of steak, what would be the best approach for me to counter you? I think I should start by negotiating with you, then to just outrightly engage you, because my piece of steak cannot withstand your pistol and your 2 knives. That's just simple logic. That's all I'm saying. So
we have this international body that the government of Liberia can start to escalate this issue to them, judging from the rapid decline in that particular area. Don't you think it's about time, especially with our position, you know, on the United Nations, non-permanent member of the Security Council? Don't you think that it's time that we start to engage our international partners instead of, you know, just remaining just silent as it is?
Prince, you couldn't be any more right than what you just stated. Anything that has to do with engagement other than force at this time, and it falls back to our current situation, military might, I think we should explore those options. I think we should engage our international partners, get people involved, bring awareness to this issue, because if it goes left, Liberia at present, with the size of our military, we stand a high risk of being on the losing end, because the might of Guinean army is no secret, will overpower our strength today. So keep a diplomatic stance and work on your current form of bettering your military strength and engaging your international partners. But to go head on and engage Guinea today, it will be a wrong thing. The most we can do, deploy people at the border to protect our end, but keep diplomacy first. If everything fails, then you resort to, hey, my backs are against the wall and I have no other option but to defend myself. Because, you know, we're not going to just prostrate for Guinea to war. We're going to defend ourselves because we are a sovereign nation and we are the oldest independent nation. But at the same time, we know that we don't have the might today because of the size of our military. So we must remain constructive, and we stand for a prolonged war. We don't need to put war first today. Any level-headed Liberian should not put war first. Consider our history and where we are today, enjoying relative peace.
Thank you so very kindly. Thank you, my brother Jake. Let's hear from you on this thing. It seems as if the situation is deteriorating. We were here a few days ago discussing it. Today, what we are seeing, videos all over the place of, Guinean mustering, their men in order to go over completely and claiming that that area is for them. Let's hear from you, sir.
Prince, maybe I always take different direction on the podcast here. Let me say something. I'll be real to the Liberian people here. I said here from the beginning, probably this is beyond what we're thinking. Because as the president addressed the nation, he never tell why Guinea crossed the border. He met the president of Guinea. He never. Today, he saw a video circulating on social media. The deputy speaker went to that particular area in Lofa County. The parade that said they went to Lofa County. Prince, I said something on the platform earlier when the thing started. Probably some people say that conspiracy whatsoever. It can be conspiracy, it can be conspiracy. I broke it down here. Let me tell you something. We're having a serious war going around the world. Guinea, I told you people, Guinea Allah to Russia, then Iran, other than they want Allah. Let me tell you, it can be the Iranian guy heavily investment in Guinea. Anybody can fact check what I'm saying here. It could be Dunya want to wage war on Liberia because we tie with Israel in America. Let me tell you something. That's beyond what we're thinking. I said it on their platform here. I mean, I get the ego out. It's not about sin or water. The sin, that sin, a particular border, the people have been taking sin from that place for many, many years. Some of us even emphasize on it today when you went to that, I don't know, it's a sample of border area. They've been taking most of the property that built in that place, they took it from that sin thing, Guinea to the nearby Guinea to the sin too. I don't know what special mineral the interior minister, the interior affairs minister, money that the seized first equipment. I don't know, but there's probably nothing out of the box. This is beyond. This will be beyond what we're thinking. Do we have some military? Let me tell you something. I live in Europe here. Do we have come from the gendarmerie or the army here? Macron and Donald Trump cannot see eye to eye. They are all in bed. They are French colonies. France got heavy investment in Iran. I'm talking about geopolitical thing I'm speaking here. I'm not talking about your Liberia thing that you're talking here. So if you see China coming attack Taiwan too, you will not be surprised China can attack Taiwan anytime too. Because America attacking Iran, they are all Allah. So someone Guinea pushing their barrier now. He said, oh, but this America attacking y'all. We get like weakest neighbor right near us here. I can do something to attack. Imagine Dumuya parading in Conakry, hitting flare to the French the Guinea military to go to the border with massive force. What in beyond that we don't know. And you know who the ECOWAS boss? Malabio is the ECOWAS boss. He escorted Joseph Boakai to Conakry. Since then, ECOWAS have never made no statement. ECOWAS is all dead. Let me tell you today, ECOWAS are dead organization. I don't know why they even function inside. ECOWAS and United Nations, they are dead organization. People they're overthrowing all over the continent. Nobody, they don't react. They don't say no. And that's not Vlad, as Liberian people say. So for me, I take it out of the box. Guinea probably doing one position itself as the main in the West African region, the giant in the West African region. Cote d'Ivoire experience war. Cote d'Ivoire experience war. He did it. Listen to me. He did it to Malabio. He sees Guinea's military also. So he could take that whole 4-year era if he want to. He can take Liberia. If he's fighting to take Liberia, he can say, I'm waging war on Liberia. Because we don't have military. It could be beyond this too. Probably I'm wrong, but I take it out of the box. are taking seriously under the bat. Russia in war in Ukraine, they are all allies. America and Liberia, America and Israel with the title with Liberia. So whatever our government will do, they gotta wake up. The president gotta be making. He tell all this true story. Start sending a best friend to all your international partners and start flagging the things. Like ready to start protesting to the American embassy. All the protests that you should be having on a George we are for awareness. Nothing can be out. So what Guineas? So what day after tomorrow? Because say yeah, that ways all Liberia. What you will do?
So let me ask you a question before I go to my brother Roland, who is on the line with us from Liberia. The last time you remember, or all of us can recall, with this HPX deal. Remember, these people wanted to use the railway.
Yeah, in Conakry also. Yes.
They are in Conakry also.
Yes.
And that was a major issue. You know, for some reason, I don't know, I don't want to go in depth, but I would just say on the surface level, that was a major issue. You know, between Liberia, we saw that was the first kind of, heated exchange we saw between the two countries, where HPS wanted to use that particular area, the railway, and then we have Agda Meta saying no, and stuff. We know what happened, between there and the rest of it.
Prince, I know it in your print. I see where Senator Jello name. They know they saw Nove, they saw in that unse, they won't be hiring. Our allies, our ally. They won't be having different allies there. When these things are happening, they were talking in America under the boss and they brought that woman to get some kind of stupid speech in Liberia and they're gonna the woman what they brought in Liberia to get it. I think our flash speech or the anniversary speech, one of the things there, she started downplaying America, showing America on your body. We get three greatest allies, as we all know: America, Israel, and Great Britain. Liberian rebel, they came to our having many occasions. You cannot abandon your ally. The greatest two military power on this earth here now, the waging war on Iran. The Israeli military, the RDF, and the American military. Two powerful forces. No force on this planet can make it what they force, no matter what you do.
So Jake, before we go to our brother Roland, do you think that this is more
calculated? Yes. Yes. That's my thinking. Listen to me. Few years, listen to me. Let me tell you something. Church who are going to China. China got so much investment. All the oil that come from Iran go to China. Nothing. Some more percent of that oil come from Iran. They made destroying the whole the Iranian and Chinese economy. So what? They can be a revenge. Don't be surprised when China waged war on Taiwan to seize that island too. There's a global war order teaching around. So what Dumuya won't flash and said too, because we are allied to America and Israel. He said, but I got my neighbor right here. Dumuya know the story of Liberia. Let me tell you something. The only thing that blessing Dumuya, let me tell you something today. Because we get all Liberian, majority of the Liberian in the country know about especially the old school. Everybody know about We fought a civil war for 14 years. Dumuya was small boy. He knew about the Liberian civil war. He knew about the Liberian civil war. He knew about it. But Dumuya won't take advantage now of that situation to the border. The president went there with the Guinea, with the Salvadorian president. But still, he still have a soldier on our sword. That was not flecking nothing. You not flecking nothing. We own our own. We ain't got no tap people. We get nothing. The administration are not flecking to our ally. Same message to Marco Rubio in the State Department with that. What is going on in our country? So, Prince, it's hard for us. It could be, probably could be. For me, it can be a conspiracy. Doing attack us at any time.
Thank you so much. Let's go to our brother Roland that have joined us. And this is really serious. And maybe we might cause somebody to interpret this video for us before we even,
Yeah, Prince, I'll send you a video. Okay, I'll send you that video. I want you to call somebody to interpret that video for us. You hear what I meant to say in that video. Let me tell you.
And the
Boakai have been
reason
lying
why,
to us.
yeah, we'll come to you shortly. And the reason why we are really focusing on this, our people
But
are
second
very,
audio please. Second audio please beyond.
yeah, I think we just need to mute ourselves. That's all.
Yeah,
And
Jesse, everybody just meeting you better.
yeah. So the reason why we're going to focus on this is because it's scary. Our people in Liberia, you know, whether we like it or not, whether we believe it or not, the 14 years of civil unrest is still having a fresh scar on all of us. All of us, whether we were there, we weren't there, this, that, it still have, I mean, a fresh scar. There are some things that you can see that immediate action or that immediate maybe event can just open the memory of what you saw 14 years ago when you were
Yes.
small doing the war. So the thing is still fresh in our people's mind. And we all know what happened. How this, I mean, our neighboring country, to some extent, their soil were compromised to let's say, sponsor, if I should say, if that's not the right word, that's it. But for some, insurgents to leave from some of our neighboring soil, whether they were involved, whether they knew it, whether
They
they
were
had
involved, Ivory Coast.
etc. I don't know. But we saw people coming from our neighboring countries, I mean, insurgents coming from our neighboring country invading our borders. Like we saw some in Guinea, we saw people in Ivory Coast. In fact, the TRC report, it tells all about where some of these guys were basing, where they came from, according to them. Now, my brother Roland, this particular issue continued to deteriorate. And from all indication, I feel, I might be wrong, but I think people are playing politics than taking this issue, like somebody would say, taking the bull by the horn to ensure that this issue is resolved. Jake says something. Why are Liberians in Monrovia near the embassy? Why are we not going to call on the United States? Recently, they released a report. There was a report on the US website, on their website. They released a report. So why are we not? Is it that we have not reached to that level yet? Like my brother, Elston say, the government is still doing this issue of diplomacy. And in his mind, that is the best way to start first, the issue of diplomacy. And in my view, I think things are deteriorating. But where you stand, you are in Nimba, very close to Guinea. Let's hear from you, my brother.
Okay, thank you. I do appreciate you for bringing me on the show. And let me say many thanks to my dear brother Woman and my brother Wesley. Let me say many thanks to you for being on the show. I appreciate it too. I've been finding the conversation. Yeah, I've been finding the conversation. But Mr. Cherry, let's be clear to the Liberians people. Boakai is not doing all justice. Our president is not doing all justice. Since Ambassador Joseph Human Boakai left from Guinea, what have he told us that we're discussing in our meeting? The video that I just sent you, the video was released from Guinea. The entire discussion that they have in Guinea, that's the video that I just sent you. Why our president is not real to us that when they went in Guinea, the Guinea president refused and rejected all that they said there. Why is he not real to us? If you listen to that video, the president said, according to the National Defense of Guinea, he said, the president make a commitment to the citizens during the inauguration that he's going to secure all of their land. So this thing must come to pass before the Guinea citizens feel that the president is not working or what he said, he didn't go by it. Read that, call anybody to interpret that video to you. I also send an interpretation to you. The second aspect of that video again that they released, they told the Liberians president Ambassador Joseph Human Boakai, they told Sierra Leone president, they also told Africa president that the land that Liberia have for Guinea, they would take that land. They told them in the faces right in that meeting that this is something that they will not compromise. Now, why Liberians, why the president, why the information minister cannot do research on this particular border issue? I did a thorough research tonight and proving that the place is for them. The place is for them. Let do a research on it. Do a research from 1907. When Liberia sent one NS as a resident ambassador to France through the influence of France. They sent another guy. I just sent another stuff there. Another guy they called Barrow. Barrow was the one who signed that document on behalf of Liberia through the influence of France that the Makona River is for Guinea. Through the influence of France. So now, if from 1907 to 1911, from 1911 to 1920, 1929, actually the people telling you and giving you history at the same time they're telling you that this document was signed in so and so year, and telling you, and if you quoting without United States 130 international border boundary, they even giving you embassy, they're telling you that go and read this part, a part of it. Why Joseph Boakai is not telling us what we expected from our president is during the time of Arthur Barclay, this is what is signed, because that time was during Arthur Barclay time. This is what it did. And we cannot go beyond it. And this is what the Guineans people are telling us. But the left wing, the king decided like nothing happened. The board didn't tell them anything. Let's do more research about this place and forget about it, because if we had done more research, we couldn't even talk to the Guineans. But it was because of the Arthur Barclay time, the person that they sent to France, the influence that they influenced them, they signed this document. That today it is bringing us to this kind of speed. So the people got a document that is showing that is showing the document and telling you, say they signed this document so time. That just get somebody that will interpret that entire video to us, then we'll get it. The clear understanding. The guy is putting that video with a year, everything that agreement, and who they signed that agreement as well. That Liberians representative signed that agreement in France. That water is for Guinea. That land is for Guinea. And then our leaders, they stay around here, they stay taking our diplomacy, going up and down. The only thing we can do is to go beg Dumbuya and then say, we'll beg you, take your people back. Let have the place as a boundary. Because that's what he's telling on that document. And even showing to the world that this is what you have. And he continue to release too. Why you think that they have one of the fighting helicopter in the air, parading all around the square and making sure that the place is secure? Why you think they're doing that? It is because of that document that they have in their possession. Let Liberia bring a document that shows that they never signed such a thing. And I'm giving you two names today. You go do research, you still find out two names. There are two names I will just say you do research, you still find out two names. And they will tell you that the Barrow man was the one who signed that particular document on behalf of Liberia as a representative. So it's nothing about it. It's that we are not doing more research. That's why we say blame the Guinean people, government.
Thank you so much. We have with us our brother, Zico, the CEO of Zico TV. He is with us. I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Prince, and good evening to our co-panelists, and good evening to your listening audience. How you go?
Well, we are doing great. Thank you so much for joining us. So I want to go to my brother Wise. My brother Wise, you stress on the issue of dialogue, diplomacy, engage the system. We don't have the military might. We don't have what it takes to send these people. Our military budget is in some 33 million, while these people are in 500 plus $1 million is what we are talking about from all indication. But do you think, from all indication, that our lawmakers, when this issue been happening, from your own end, do you see a realistic approach on the part of our representatives, our senators, in discussing this thing the way we are taking it, or the way we are concerned about it? How do you think they are concerned as equally, and they are putting in more force to ensure that this issue is resolved, or they are just on, somebody will say, picture, how you call, or tour, taking tour around the place and making picture? What do you think of this, especially from our lawmakers?
Well, first, Roland, let me say a mighty big thank you for the level of work that I can hear that you put into this. Highly laudable from you. I must commend you for what you did. And Prince, if you can, I can say share it with you. If you can share it with me, I would like to take a listen. And I think from what he said, you can say we need some interpretation for people to interpret to us. It seemed like somebody could be in French. I think that's what I'm gathering from him. But from the part that he understood, he said something he alluded to is the land seems to be for the Guineans. That's why we want our people to come forth, President Boakai to come forth, and I'm going to join Roland and say our leaders need to be truthful to us. If you remember, our leaders during the Samuel Doe regime, when the Charles Taylor and the likes were waging the war, when the people were making advances to Monrovia, the people who were in the military and who were at the helm of the military, they kept lying to President Samuel Doe, oh, we are pushing the people back, and this, that, and the third. And the people were advancing on Monrovia. So our leaders need to be more truthful. So President Boakai sat in that meeting, and from what I'm gathering from Roland's explanation, that meeting, Doumbouya made it explicitly clear that he has an intention of reclaiming their land, and he has the military might over Liberia. So we are in a very tough position, to be realistic. So if the land belongs to Guinea, we should now start looking to our international partners. And Jake highlighted that we have England, we have the great United States of America on our side. So we must reach out to them and tell them, listen, we have a land dispute. Just explore any avenue. Send people to the embassy. Tell them we have a land dispute with our neighbors, and it is no secret we do not have the military might, to withstand their force today. So we'll need you all to find an amicable solution. In any case, I think diplomacy first, since Roland already alluded to the land being for Guinea, let's firstly explore the avenue of diplomacy with the help of our international partner. Going straight on into war may not be the best idea today, considering our fundamental. And lastly, we know our strength, and you know your strength. So I think it is only wise that we find a way to remedy the situation, then further let it to escalate. But we will defend our sovereignty, how be it, and we must defend our sovereignty. But I'm glad that you acknowledge that the land belongs to Guinea, and it's yet to be proven. You know, everything is alleged until proven. And I want to retire at that point, Prince.
Thank you. So we have a video here that I want us to play, and our brother Zico will come in before we can go to our brother Jake and maybe go around the table before going to our next topic. So I want to play this video for all of us here.
C'est la question fondamentale. Il y a eu C'est la question fondamentale. Il y a eu l'incident de Koudaya où les Léonais sont venus réclamer la paternité. Il y a aussi le cas de Kessine, ça c'est au niveau du fleuve Makona, fleuve Mano. Qu'est-ce que le sommet a arrêté comme conclusion? Tout d'abord, le président de la République, son Excellence M. Mamadi Doumbouya, a expliqué clairement à ses pairs de la Sierra Leone et du Liberia de l'intangibilité des frontières issues des accords et des conventions ou traités entre les trois nations. D'abord, avec le Liberia, il y a eu les accords de 1907. Cet accord a été signé à Paris le 13 janvier 1907 entre le ministre français des Affaires étrangères d'alors et l'ambassadeur du Liberia à Paris en ce moment. Cela donne les limites réelles entre la Guinée et le Liberia. Et le président de la République a dit que ces accords-là, jusqu'à date, ne sont pas encore changés, donc l'intangibilité de ces frontières doit être respectée. Avec la Sierra Leone, le général Mamadi Doumbouya a rappelé le processus de bornage entre la Sierra Leone et la Guinée. Pour la petite histoire, cela a commencé en 1892 pour se terminer en 1912. Et ce processus de bornage a été signé entre l'Angleterre et la France qui colonisait en ce moment la Guinée. Donc, ce sont là des accords qui ont été signés et qui demeurent en vigueur. Le troisième aspect des conclusions du sommet de Conakry, il y a l'article 33 de la Charte des Nations Unies qui impose à tous les États de faire recours aux négociations politiques, au dialogue pour régler les différents frontaliers. Alors, qu'est-ce que les chefs d'État libériens et léonais ont dit à la suite de cette intervention du président guinéen? D'abord, ils ont reconnu et salué le sacrifice ultime consenti par la Guinée, consenti par le peuple de Guinée et son armée pour faire face aux préoccupations historiques de la Sierra Leone et du Liberia. Plusieurs fois, la Guinée est intervenue en Sierra Leone. Plusieurs fois, la Guinée est intervenue au Liberia et au prix du sang de ses fils. Ils ont reconnu et ils ont rendu un hommage mérité aux dirigeants guinéens, au peuple et à l'armée guinéenne. Deuxièmement, les chefs d'État libériens et léonais ont reconnu l'intangibilité de ces frontières héritées des différents accords. Qu'est-ce à dire? Qu'ils sont d'accord par rapport à ce qui a été fait avant 1907 avec le Liberia, avec la Sierra Leone de 1882 à 1912. Donc, ils s'alignent derrière les conclusions de ces accords. Voilà la quintessence de cette rencontre. Donc, il n'y a plus d'équivoque. Ils le reconnaissent. La Sierra Leone reconnaît, le Liberia reconnaît que les domaines qui sont venus occuper appartiennent à la Guinée.
All right, we just want to stop right here, and we are grateful that we have our brother Zigo with us. Zigo, before going in, let me ask you: do you understand or speak French fluently?
Yes, I do.
Do you also write French?
Yes, I do.
Where you learn that from? Is it from school or just
ABC. My ABC was I went to school in Ivory Coast.
Oh,
I was
okay.
very young when after the war. I migrated to Ivory Coast, so that's why I started I started school before the war, and unfortunately, I couldn't go through the school yet, so I just continued school in Ivory Coast, but it was a French school.
Oh, it was a French school. Okay, okay. So you basically understand, interpret, and write French. Okay, that's great. So you're listening to this video. Can you give the audience, I mean, what was it about? What was the conversation here about? We saw the president, portion of the
The
explanation. We saw the
Prince is
president of Guinea,
out,
Liberia. I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah. So can you just
but Prince going
interpret?
in and out.
Yeah, sorry, sorry. So you getting me? Hello? You getting me? Hello, Zico?
Prince, I can hear you clearly. I think Zico might be
Yeah,
frozen. You can just
yeah,
continue.
yeah, yeah. I think Zico is frozen. He will be okay. Hello, Zico, you getting me now, right?
Yeah,
Okay, fine.
can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yeah, we are getting you too. You are loud and clear. Yeah, you are okay. Yeah, you are okay.
The internet buffing. I don't know why.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's from your end anyway. But let's manage it. I think we can get it. Okay, so you getting us now? Is it?
Is it better?
Yeah, it's very better.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's very better. Yeah. So can you just tell us what was the explanation about? We saw that individual showing, a section of the meeting and etc. Just explain to us what was he saying in that identical video?
Well, from the beginning, he said the fundamental question, which were Guineans are wondering, Liberians are wondering, Sierra Leoneans are wondering, right? So he said when the Guinean president invited both heads of state, he made it categorically clear to them that there was gonna be each side should respect the boundaries, the treaties that they signed back in 1907, and that treaty was signed by the Liberian ambassador to France at that time, and the French international minister for the side of France, but they made that agreement with France, and every each nation should respect the boundary. And even though Guinea was once in Liberia and also in Sierra Leone, they understand, but they were there to reclaim their land. And you understand? And in return, both heads of state acknowledge the boundary and respect the mandate and the agreement. And that's why you saw them in that picture standing there. And he even alluded to, I think, Sierra Leone and Guinea problem started back in 1992. And you understand? And he gave the end date. And both heads of state agree. But what I expect Boakai to do is that what he agreed to from that meeting. I think what they are doing now is a smoke screen because the government is not functioning. It's like a distraction. You know, they want to divert people's attention. But I think Boakai need to tell the Liberian people what was in that meeting, what they agreed to in that meeting. And you understand? But basically, this is what the meeting was about. And I think the Guineans are doing justice to the Liberian population and also the Sierra Leonean population, because at the end of the day, these government officials are putting the citizen at risk. Because mind you, when the immigration officer then run away, who were down there defending the land, and our hunter then with lawnmower gun, you putting your citizens at risk. And you understand, they're not telling the Liberian people the truth. They need to come up and tell the Liberian people the truth. And you understand? But pretty much that video was pretty clear. I think for me, I got some sense of clarity. I'm not going to be confused and deceiving myself, because at the end of the day, if there's a document that was signed, my people, you'll not stop there, oh, we invite international community to reclaim. Listen, I think this is a clear indication our government officials should learn from. Let us stop signing bogus agreement, start giving our land away to foreigners, because at the end of the day, it will hurt generation to come. And this is what we're facing today. So you'll not face reality. Some minister in who were the president in 1907, you know?
It was Arthur Barkley. Arthur Barkley.
So this is where our problem came from, and we're dealing with that problem today. So I'll rest there, Prince. But the video is very.
Thank
I
you.
don't think on the Liberian government and the Sierra Leonean government. There's videos, there's pictures to prove it.
Thank you. Let's go to our brother Jake before we come back. Jake, do you see this as a means of coercing at the time our ambassador in France? Because when you look at this entire stuff, according to the information, there was an official communication that was signed by, at the time, France, that was directly, representing Guinea, and that of our own foreign minister. Sorry, our own, ambassador in France. He will not do anything without the approval or without the acquiescence of the leadership at the time, the Barclay leadership. Do you think that Liberia at the time, you're talking about 1907, we were established way before 1907, 1847. Do you think that we were bullied? Or do you think something happened? Because we all know the regime of Arthur Barkley. We know what happened, I don't want to go there with all this corruption, blah, 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 and stuff like that, and all this slavery thing and all the other stuff. So do you think we can say that we were bullied and there is a need for us to stay impressed on the international community, as our brother Wisa is saying, to intervene in this matter? Let's hear from you, sir.
Yeah, we will play. For me, we will play and we signed upplay document. Let me say something to you, Let me say something. We understood the French. I live in Cote d'Ivoire also. They got make it simple and clear. Let me tell you, You know what the president did to the Republic of Liberia? I saw with Taiwan Gongru on this. You know what Taiwan said? If the president cannot come clean to the Liberian people, he will make it, they might impeach the president in Jeremiah for real. It's a impeach. You know what? Let be honest, that president signed document in Guinea. If you look at the thing on the post, he signed in Guinea already. His son, our president's son in Guinea. No direct. But Boakai is ashamed to tell the Liberian people the Unity Party love lies. They came to power through lies. Let me say something to you here again. You think the land dispute that just now was small you hear about the land dispute. We hear about land dispute with Africa and also Africa together on a team with Liberia also. But you know what? They never took it on Ellen Johnson Sally. Dumuya never take it on George Weah. Why he never came through the border? They made it called Conti, where Dumuya overthrew. I go follow you overthrew. That was a fake coup in Guinea at that time. I break it down here. Dumuya came from France to quiet down protests, to quiet down all the protests in Guinea Conakry, because the Fulani were leading, the opposition were leading at that time. And the people were 80 some more years old, like CH of Boakai. So Dumuya King, they playing that fake coup. Dumuya seized power. When Dumuya was in the military, when he took power as a military junta, why he never seized the land on George Weah? Because George Weah has serious connection with Conti. That his godfather is George Weah's godfather was Conti. Macky Sall, they had a relationship. So Dumuya never dared to come and save the land at that time. They never. If you ask George Weah secretly, he'll know about the land dispute. Conti told him, put me on record. Conti told him, but why now he crossed the border to attack? You know what making angry? His brother, Nimane, for the greed. They started money sending down there, they want to do all kind of things. So Dumuya was ready to take his land, to take the land back. Guinea never took the land on Ellen Johnson Sally 12 good years because the international community were on the ground. And because of respect of President George Weah, Dumuya never took the land. But Dumuya saw with Boakai, and Boakai still lying to the country. So me, I saw with Taiwan Bongo, if the president cannot come clear to the Liberian people that he signed a document in Guinea, he should be impeached. He lying to the country. He be impeached. He didn't go outside. Jeremiah could become president and wait for next election. That my father saying here. But he lied to the Liberian people.
Let's go to our brother Wisse. Let's go to our brother Wisse on this identical issue. We saw the gallery with photos of President Boakai taking picture with that of Dumuya. They said the sign or communique and etc. And let me just say this before going. How sad with you that there must be a diplomacy in this particular issue. That the diplomatic channel must take seat, in this matter. But also, do you think that the government of Liberia, President Boakai, is being very deceptive, not giving us the actuality of the information that was gathered there? I mean, with the executive mansion not coming up to say, look,
they even show the video. The executive mansion, you see, they show the video.
Yeah, Jake, are coming. So, do you think that it was being deceptive on the part of our government of not giving us all of the details that were discussed in Guinea? And also, do you think that we were being cajoled in 1907 or we were being bamboozled at the time by friend who was, obviously a war power? How do you look at this? How do they play in the current day reality that is ongoing in Liberia? Let's hear from you, sir.
Well, Prince, I like your stance just now, and everything is alleged until proven. I think I respect what you said. It makes a lot of sense when you said Guinea did not do that during the past government of President Weah because of the ties that he enjoyed with Conte. And it sounds very logical, highly likely it could be true. But you have to understand, everyone wouldn't have the next man as his friend. So what can JMB do if he's not enjoying the same rapport with the current president of Guinea, Dumuya? Nothing. You cannot do nothing about it. All you can do, like my brother Prince alluded to what I said, use explore the best avenue in terms of diplomacy, like any level-headed person would do, for obvious reasons. And the other reasons are we do not have the military might to withstand Guinea at the present moment, and we've come from a prolonged period of civil upheaval. So we don't need another wrangling with another country. We need to use our best options out there and stay civil on the matter. But the good thing here is this is the internet age. So you see what my brother Roland did. He went and dug all this very beautiful information that President Boakai has not divulged to us to answer Prince's question. It may be a little bit deception. It may be a little bit of, because not everything the president will come and tell us, but he addressed the nation. He should have told us what the meeting thing were in the meeting that they had, the things that were most expensive relative to the border. And a lot of people said it. We didn't get that from him. But that doesn't mean that we still cannot do our best to remain civil on the matter until we get it, considering where we are today and where we is today in terms of military might. I want to use this platform today to call on the government of Liberia through President Joseph Boakai to remain transparent. And you cannot hide anything in this day and age, because the internet will expose everything. And here is our brother Roland, who received this very beautiful information relative to that border. And it's not going to hide it. After today, you see so many people going to expose the thing even further, like Gonyo was trying to do earlier, and Roland had already backed it up by providing beautiful information. So, Prince, I think there's a little bit of distinction, or the fact that everything cannot be diverged to us, but we need to know what is affording. And I'm a team, and every level-headed Liberian will remain team. We have to remain civil on the matter, but do our best to defend our sovereignty until the matter is remedied. Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much. So let's go to our brother Roland. My brother Roland, with all this thing that is ongoing, the government is making frantic efforts in our diplomatic approach, but there are others who are saying that, like Pastor Tion Bongo and others. Yeah, so we can just mute ourselves. We're coming to you, Roland. So from what others are saying, that the government need to diverge more information, need to tell us, and others are saying no. Like Elston said, it's not every information, especially in these kind of situations, that you can give the citizens. You have to keep certain things to your chest. Now, from what you are looking at, you think it is fair or it is unfair? Those Liberians that are saying the government is playing politics with this, based on what we are seeing, the government lacks the temerity, they lack the energy. In fact, Joseph Newman Boakai should not even be there for 1 minute, according to Tiawon Gonglo. We should impeach this man because he is keeping sensitive information. He has, shown to the Liberian people that he lacks the will to be able to protect the Liberian people and the sovereignty. Don't you think that this is unfair? All of these analogies, don't you think that it is unfair on the part of this government, who have just been confronted with this issue in less than a month? Just confronted with this issue, and people are beating on the government, saying, oh, the man is unreasonable, oh, he's keeping information, oh, let him be impeached, and etc. Don't you think that is unfair, my brother Roland? Let's hear from you.
When you use unfair, then it means that you'll be maybe like it is an honest statement. They have been very biased to the Liberian people. All right, let me give you this. Do you know that it is alleged that just the thing that is happening between Guinea and Liberia government has spent over $10 million? The news will come up. They have spent over $10 million. Just the small thing that just happening, that nothing, how heavy has gone on. They have spent over $10 million. The news will come up and people will discuss it. Let's come back to the point. You know that Doumbouya is somebody that come back to the there's a company that's supposed to mine in Guinea and use a railway in Liberia. Why you think that stopped them from not mining directly and using the railway in Liberia? When that issue came out, where the House of Representatives were holding and pulling, Doumbouya went to $20 billion loan and built a railway to black Liberia out of the entire picture. That I don't want to share anything like finance with you and so forth. everything should be done on the basis where the Guineans is going to benefit as well. That's another aspect of it, that he's very true about the country, on how he stand on issues and how he can be able to defend his country. Ambassador Joseph Boakai went and sat down in that meeting, and the National Defense Minister of Guinea clearly told them that particular information. What was their response to those people? You understand? Key thing in that communication, he said they don't want for the people of Guinea to see the president like a weak president, because he told the people of Guinea in an inaugural speech that he's going to gain this land. And they even made emphasis. They said that they went into a conflict with several land before, and the conflict ended. They gave all of the garland because of the same land that today they are discussing about. And just recently, they took 15 of Sierra Leone army men and carried them to Conakry. It means that those people are ready for the land. It is just like our government is not being truthful to us. For me, what I expected was when they came from Guinea to go to the House of Senate to meet with every leader and say, look, this is what those people are saying. Let's tell the Liberian people that during after Bagley time, the two resident ambassadors that were sent to France, this is what they did, and this is why it's affecting us. But we're going to follow the diplomatic means to ask the international community to go and beg Dumuya that the river remains our boundary. That's just simple and being real. But you're not being real, but they want to use a situation now like a scapegoat and carry on corruption. Like they have spent over $10 million on just a simple thing. Why do you think the police RG went there and didn't see the water side? He didn't even see the water. He didn't go to the border entry to see what happened in there. Why do you think? The next aspect is the immigration commander went there. The Guinean army told the immigration commander that we will not tell you our reason of being on the soil. If you want to know our reason of being on the soil, you have to call to Gegedu and ask the people why they sent army on the soil. So we owe you no explanation. In fact, your dress back. That's what they told them. And the dress back, they came way to custom. That custom they are. That where you see the RG went and stopped, the RG stopped to custom. He didn't reach the water side to even talk to even interact with the Guineans. So the little things that they're doing, like a corruption now, that over 10 million that they spend, everybody want to go there. Don't be surprised when you see fire service going there, the scoreboard going there. When you see other people going there, just to be particular, that team over 10 million.
Thank you.
But he went there. He didn't even see the river. He didn't see the river way out. Let me be real, Mr. Sherry. Why the video that journalists are putting out and see where they parking that scene? You understand that same money taken place over there for over a month plus. They are not done using in that place. That people are doing extra mineral money in over that river. It was not same money.
Thank you so much, my brother Roland. Let's go to our brother Zico. Zico, with all this thing that is ongoing, there is a serious, somebody say, reneging or a kind of lackadaisical attitude on the part of the military to deploy fully, whether in whatever means. We are seeing that the military is a kind of bit, I don't know if maybe that is the right word to use, but we are seeing the military not really kind of like, getting too much involved. We are seeing the police going there, immigration, where they themselves are expressing frustration to some extent. We're listening to an immigration officer who said, he made his own statement that I won't want to say here. But people are concerned about the absence of the military in this whole thing, and that the police is going there showing of force and what have you. Are you concerned about this, or do you think, like others are saying, the diplomatic channel must stay be absorbed? We must stay be able to exhibit, or be able to exercise every diplomatic means in order to get this issue solved. And it is the right thing to do to send police at that particular area and not for the army to deploy. While others are saying that the army not deploying is bigger. Some are saying that the military is complaining because almost all of the money that is supposed to be going to military today, when you look at the Ministry of Justice, they get budget there for intelligence. You go to how you call the place, Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, they get budget for intelligence. You go to Youth and Sport, they get budget for intelligence. All the people there under Joseph Newman Boyka, people are claiming that All of these people have budgets for intelligence. If that money can be given toward the military, that will help with so many things. But let's hear from you. Do you think that this is a willful action on the part of the military to renege, or they don't want to maybe, inflame the situation, and that's the reason why the police is going there? Let's hear from you on this, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Prince. And I don't want to disagree with you. We said for saying that we were cajoled in 1907. I don't think we'll be doing this to our own intelligence, because Prince, that local in the 1st century, local we made our local time. What is the difference between these bogus consensus agreement and that of what they signed in 1907? I don't think they were cajoled that behavior. And when they're doing some of these things, they don't think about the repercussion or the ripple effects us tomorrow. And I don't want to allude myself to what cajole, that the behavior of our is have been the behavior of our politics in the past, is still today. That is the reality. You understand? So I say we're not cajole. Now back to the military tool. Okay, Prince. The military can clearly see on Boakai. On in every nation you go, the military is always peace. Honor Joseph Boakai, the national police of the military. The police got all the military have police men get post military. Seeing it, they have seen confrontation that of the military. So I just think military people and they got their own code of conduct. They understand the issue. Once they go, it will become war between, or it may start a different thing. People that are going there, all like as a politician, to a point he making a step low, and he not realize, because at the end of the day, what did he go do there? Like I hear him rolling, they have on what thing? What the helicopter we have nation will not carry over $10 million like on gas. And you understand? So some of these things that the military have been marginalized, and I'm not surprised. You cannot copy.
Thank you.
Please.
But Prince, I will have to take my leave.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for coming on and having your take on this issue. Thank you so much. Yeah, you said
10 seconds, if you don't mind, please.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
My brother, before you leave, I think you misspoke. Prince was laying a premise, posing a question to one of the panelists, and when he said it may have been we may have been cajole. I didn't use that word. So when you said we said, I think you meant Prince.
I don't want to use it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. It was good that you said, so it wasn't. Yeah, I just provide clarity, and then I would just retire here. I think the reason why is no secret. We do not have that strength in the military, so they use the police because it's a very fact that the military is not strong enough. So that's what they use it. But it is kind of immaterial to bring the police what they do to the army in this discussion, because this is a discussion that has to do with our country versus another country. So it is clear that everyone sees it. We cannot withstand Guinea today with the size of our military. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you, Prince. And I'm glad you clarified.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but if you say that, then I got a question for you, Mr. Sherry. Please, I beg you, let me ask you a
Yes,
question.
sir. Go ahead, please.
Then why you think that the police RG went there and they didn't see the water and they didn't interact with the Guinean soldiers
Oh, I'm not.
since they want to use the police?
Oh no, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. Everything we all saying here that what our police go to this place, and don't forget there is something that what is it? Military police. The army is not strong, so the police at some point they're going to step up. But I'm not disagreeing with you when you said they didn't see what they were there for. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm just saying I was not the one that made the statement. It was Jake who just clarified that he made a statement. So I had to provide that clarity. And I thought the army and the police in Liberia, making how the police may treat the army today, it is kind of immature, meaning it's not as relevant to what we're discussing about a serious force like another country. I just had to clear that out. Yeah, I agree
Thank you
with
so
you.
much. So
Yeah,
on this case,
Mr. Sherry, the people they already drew the boundary. They told Liberians army, they told all the joint security to come right back to custom. None of them should go to the water side. That's why you see the RG when they stop highway in Tehran, he came back because of that that report that they gave him. He went and met the crew on ground. They told him, say, look, the man said nobody should go to that water side. Everybody should stop right here.
The RG
And
went
go
down
back.
there to take money, man. That money grabbing he went to do.
thank you. There
Yeah, I
is
agree
this
with you.
issue that is becoming very, very serious in Liberia. The last time we saw the presidential convoy in a very fatal accident, taking the life of two persons. A lady came up to now she is still crying. The death of her husband, nobody has intervened. I mean, on the part of the government. The last time again there was a serious accident. I mean, the presidential convoy has been involved in series of accidents around the place. There is this report that yesterday two persons were unalive on the scene by this particular convoy of the vice president, VP Jeremiah Kuhn. I will say it here for the record. I have friends that work in these details, and some of the people that I spoke to are concerned with the way these guys handle these vehicles. I was speaking to a friend of mine. He said, Prince, he said, I have been here for almost about 32 years as a butler in the EPS, driving people. He said, but there is something that I've observed from our brothers who recently took over. Most of the guys who are in this convoy, some of them have no, professional education when it comes to driving. They jump in the car and say, oh yeah, the man's a driver, the man can drive and stuff like that. And this guy we're talking the guy, on a different, nomenclature, but the guy said, the convoy, especially of the president and of the vice president, is involved in too much accident because you have people who don't even know how to drive. Some of them think that when they get in the car, they can drive anyway and anyhow. They are not even observing traffic rules. Some of them, they will not even be going on what we call any kind of details or presidential or executive details. Some of them will even be using the vehicle to carry home. And the way they will be driving is just so terrible. I want to hear from you, and I want to start with my brother Roland. The last time this thing happened, almost 3 different occasions. The president convoy involving in this kind of terrible thing. And now we are seeing the VP. But what is happening? What are you hearing from on the ground? What are you seeing? What are people saying? Is this normal or what? Let's hear from you, sir.
Okay, thank you. We understood that the VP celebrated a birthday this gone time, and right after the celebration, that was the time they have this particular accident. right after the celebration of the birthday. But my question is this: they said when the VP is coming, or when the president is coming, or when the speaker is coming, most especially the president and not the VP, everybody will stand at the roadside. There will be no crossing point. No one will be crossing, and nobody will be moving. My question is, then why be on excessive speed? That's my question. And I want to ask you people that are in the Western world, whenever Obama is going somewhere, the speed that you see Liberians, president, and the senator, the speaker, the vice president, the Senate president can be on, is that the same speed that people can be on in the United States in the name of protecting the president, or in Europe in the name of protecting speaker? Sometimes, like when I saw this, something came to my mind. I was like, why if it is the car that the president is in, and then maybe two other cars just made accident right before the president car, and then the president car just enter into that two cars, what will you say? Because nobody is after the president, to admit the fact. This is Liberia. Nobody is after the president. But you will see is that they will be on excessive speed that you can't even control them. Because the moment they tell you, say, they will tell you, everybody leave the road. Everybody leave the road. The first car will come, everybody leave the road, leave the road. And you will see people just stand still on the main road. Nobody will be crossing, no motorcycle, everybody will just park. So why are you still on excessive speed? That's the question. Until today, the VP motorcase was involved into an accident. And this is not first of its kind. The president hit somebody from rehab belt, and today he got two kids. And nobody's sending them to school. And they are not going to the lady house to even speak to the lady. And it is the guy's sister who is taking care of that two kids. And the second one happened again on I think Bon to Mike Gibby Highway again, with the same president motorcase again. He have an accident on the highway, and somebody lost their life again. The same thing happened again, Central Moroville. So where are they running going? That's the question. Where are they running? You know that you're supposed to be in Bon County, and you received information yesterday as well be in Bon County today 8 o'clock. You received that information yesterday that you're supposed to be in Bon County 8 o'clock. And then tomorrow 8 o'clock. Then you wake up 7 o'clock, you want to go in Bon County and reach in Bon County 8 o'clock. How possible is that? When you receive the information yesterday? But I just think that they just, based on what they did to other people, based on how they live in the community, based on the mindset, they think that everybody after them. But people are not after them. Let them erase that mindset that people are after them. And you ask a question, people who just enter in the EPS, Mr. Chevy, I want you to do a research. You understand that people who are in the EPS are people who the president, the vice president, the speaker, or the president took them to the EPS to protect them. These are people who are driving for them. They are not the actual people who been in the EPS for more than 10 or 15 years. Check it up. And you will come back and say, what I'm saying is true. People who are in the EPS, even go as far as NSC, you will get to understand that these are just newcomer who people just in trust that I take over and say, I don't trust Mr. Chevy, man. I want to bring my own people. They train them very fast, and then they just become security for me. That's why you're seeing all of these things happening. But people who've been there 20, 25 years, they feel that they are not comfortable with them because they were in the past government.
I agree
because
with
they
you.
work in the past government.
I agree with you
I tell you,
because before
I
we
give
go
you
to
reality, I give you a real story. That's what's happening right now.
I agree with you. Before we go to our brother, we said, I agree with you. This friend of mine has been in the EPS there for 30 plus years. I mean, with vice experience, he has been there. And what he told me, one of the reasons why some of them are there, he said, in fact, you don't even have a permanent assignment right now. He can just go and go sit down. At the end of the day, they take him, carry him. I mean, the man's, and what he told me is that just what you say. He said, for him, he has been there for years. He said his first time was doing the regime of President Samaka Ndo, but at the time his uncle was working in there, and fortunately, his uncle, used to carry. At that time, he used to carry there, so they were around the place, but he was not really there. So doing the tailor year was when he started to, let's say, he was in the, driving and other stuff like that. And throughout, he said he has been trained. He said he went to Ghana, he went to Ivory Coast, he even went to Libya on different training, because driving, they get different, according to what he was telling me. I've never been a driver for executive. He said they get different form of driving, especially when you're driving these executive. There are various ways that you can drive. They have different kind of, it's not you normal start the car, boom, boom, go. He said no. They have different way and different driving that you need to understand. But unfortunately, he said, most of these people that have come, they don't even have confidence in them. They don't have confidence. Yeah, that they can move them from there for some reason, but they don't have confidence in it. The man can't know, man, let my picking where used to drive me, that picking can't drive me. The picking used to drive my Tesla, then he can't drive my convo. The other papi where used to be around my area used to drive my children to school, let them can't drive. So the guy said, these are some of the things that are causing problem. And most of them there who have the experience, they have gone out, they have traveled out, and they have been serving presidents. He said they are not for any kind of special president. President go, president can, they've been serving. But unfortunately, it is not happening under this government. So you are right. But let's go to my brother Wisse. My brother Wisse, this is becoming concerning. Like Roland Redley said it. These people, before they could even come on the street is clear. But I don't know whether we should say recklessness on the part of these drivers because they feel that they are in this, how you call, high-level vehicle, or is it from the people themselves? Why can the people move from on the road? Let's hear from you on this.
And Prince, I'm going to make this point and then I'll need to switch device. So just a little heads up. I'll go off for a second. So my point on this is very straightforward. My brother asked a question. Apparently, he might be in Liberia. My brother, first of all, the road network in developed countries is very different from what we have in our country. So even if the president were moving at full speed, the way the roads are structured, the way the size of the road, a lot of people won't be in such a grave danger like our country. So it scares me. I left Liberia 2007 and I went back to 2017 for the first time. And that's one reason why I gave a lot of credit. Our Christian religion say when you speak the truth sets you free. And a TV judge in America called Judge Judith Chatelain, she said, when you say the truth, you don't have to overthink it. You just speak freely and it comes out. So when I went back, I give a lot of credit to CDC government because road connectivity, in my estimation, was one of CDC's biggest strengths because they did very well with road connectivity. I was extremely disappointed having served as an election commissioner, heading the Don Bosco Youth Center where I grew up in New Matadi, heading the voting precinct there in the election. That was the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf that brought her to power in 2005. When I go back 2017, having left 2007, that's a whole decade. I was extremely disappointed in Ellen Johnson Sirleaf with the roads, how deplorable they were. I'm not talking about the road, the low side road, but the main streets, how deplorable they were from Rowerfield to Monrovia. In my own will, I don't think she did the country justice. I think she failed because the roads were extremely bad, considering she was well supported. She was a female president. We had come out of a prolonged war. So the funding went to her into extremely educated and respected by the entire world, being an economist and a very learned woman. So she received a lot of support, but I think she underperformed greatly, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And I always like to make that point. So because of that, I respect the CDC government. In my compared view, is one of the biggest strengths, how they deal well with the roads in our country. It's sad. I think a lot more people could be killed, but God is always on our side. That's why the human casualty rate is very low in our country. If people drive on opposite side of the street, you will not find that in a developed country, the United States. Like, a lot of people don't know that. I would like to add that in a country like America, the only convoy that wait for the president or the president waits for to go through is the ambulance. Every other convoy or car wait when the ambulance is going. But you see countries that are doing, even if an ambulance were moving, some kind of representative or some kind of person will try to board those or force it. If everyone drives around in a blow for siren, I do not understand the logic of that. It confuses me coming from a structured country like the United States and our country. I mean, so many things that could go wrong. God just be on our side. when things happen, because I want to side with the family and I want to apologize for these mishaps, and I want to send my condolences to all the people who've lost their life foolishly because of how people drive in authority in Liberia. It is sad. Everyone takes authority in their hand. This is an age-old problem. It has nothing to do with this government or this president. It has to do with from what they sent here was a pup from day one till now. I hope we do better, and our country will continue to minimize how people die foolishly for any kind of reckless accident. Thank you, Prince. I'll be back in a second. Let me swap device.
Thank you. So before we go to our brother Jake, there is something here I want to highlight why our brother changed his gadget to come back on. He talked about the issue of roles. And this is something you cannot underestimate. The first thing our people need to understand is that we do not have the kind of role network that is needed for some of these useless, foolish, and very reckless excessive speed. You don't even have it. There are roles that are not even, somebody will say, the necessary signal are not even on them. All of these traffic gators, they are not there. You entering curve, you there on your own, you going there on your own. They don't even, you will not see no sign to tell you this is a curve. This is, like for example, here, every area that you pass, there is some kind of marking that will tell you they place here, students here, they place here, children playing here, they place here, that how you call or people with disability. The roads are all laid out. But it's unfortunate that even the little roads that we have there, in Liberia, the little road that we have, unfortunately, that particular road is not maintained and is small. And these people want to use the road as if they are on a 10-lane road. And this is what baffles me. They want to use the road like they are in any advanced country and using an advanced road. You can't tell me that the vice president is going to an area that he will just jump on and say, okay, 35 minutes and let's drive. And some of the driving that these people do are very reckless. Very, very reckless. But my brother, we said, Jake, let's hear from you on this issue of all of these accidents, especially by the executive. Let's hear from you, sir.
Prince, let me say something. I thank God Georgia get a unity party people change. I'm happy to getting change for the Liberian people to see. And I will call that party chairman, the Reverend Tappe, when we went to South Africa. We have always relayed this video. Every time we have played, it's an intro here that they was surprised with 17,000 vote George where they see Reverend Tappe say 2029 the election should flow, nobody should interfere. Who win, they win, according to Reverend Tappe, because George Weah of Peace and Transfer Power. I see how they're working. I pray it will happen. But let me say something. You know what battling the Unity Party?
No.
They came to power through lies and propaganda, smear campaign, heavily charged. You know what happened? We remind the followers here. Everything it'll cover it. Look at that thing I will play, they rolling Discover here from Guinea. You know our executive mansion website never played none of that video. They just play Boakai City, they talk, Jeremiah Pia went on podium. They stay in denial. The people win the country almost 3 years now, they stay angry. Nothing transparent you will hear from these people. You got to do what I say. Propaganda cannot work these days because while the internet everybody here. If they go into Ethiopia, will go ahead of them. We'll know who invite them. They will visit Liberia, will know these people, will know what they contain, how they looking. So can I great mistake they covered in our country. Now why I tell you, I say the president in control, Roland and Prince. Prince, you remember the president hired a Turkish airplane, private plane to go. While coming by, the plane nearly crashed. Today, the president, you don't even know who sent for that plane, how that plane came, who these people. The president could die that day, the vice president Jeremiah could become president the next day or the next week. So the United Party dropping the ball. Nobody today, nobody investigated what happened to the president Lenny RRA nearly crashed. Today, the chunky all under the roll. So nothing transparent you will hear from the Unity Party. The president already signed a document in Guinea. According to that whole something, Dumuya standing with him and Dumuya in the middle, Mala building everybody. They finished telling everything. But he came to address the nation, to calm the country down, to tell the Liberian people, oh, we had a land dispute. The land is not for all. Originally, this is why. He just talk about, you look at a message, say it was dull, no charisma. Even the t-shirt they put the president in, it was not presidential. They just paraded the president of LBC. They just sound like only he started reading straight from the rhetoric and I provide that message. So a lot of things will not see, Prince. They stay in the propaganda. They're ruling the country, but they're hardly everything. That's what I want to tell you, the president is not in charge. If Nigerian people can say packaging, they seriously packaging the president. Now, what I tell you, Prince, the president will be 2029, the president will be 85 to 86 years old. Imagine the president at this stage, divorce lawsuit, everything going down, as Jeremiah Kuhn said. Imagine 2029, when you'll be 86 years old, when you're not campaigning, you'll be to a house or in a basement. The president will campaign 2029. So that why Jeremiah Kuhn now doing everything possible for him to become president as soon as possible. That's why he carry birthday to the places. Why the president's ruling the country, but he in control everything. Ministers then going, this and that going to him until they made that accident. Pre-accident part are serious in our country. That's something we need to address. Besides presidential comfort, I get serious statistics on accident in the country. That one of the mass killing on the Republic of Liberia. Please, I break it down here many times. Over 30,000 people die to car accident every year, every corner of that country. Over 30,000 of facts die to car accident. Imagine in 10 years' time that people that number that will is a number that will lost in the Liberian civil war will be more than the number that we lost. But everybody putting the T on the roll. People don't drive in the country. The whole country, keke driver, back rider, everybody. The amount of accident that can happen in the Republic of Liberia is so scary. We don't address these things. Then you're talking about convoy that running with speed. Car accident, people die from car accident too hard. Numbers too scary in the Republic of Liberia. So accident to that thing not surprising me, just an accident that is serious killing aspect in the whole Republic of Liberia. The numbers that I know about, I break it down here many times. So accident is not strange to me. So, but the Unity Party that cover government, they come from big. I think I was breaking problem to our nation. The president can I address it. Come from Guinea, executive mansion website. Nothing they will put on our website. You should believe it. You must fact check it. You must go beyond them. There's not a transparent government. There's a government that stay in lies and propaganda. President almost died in plane crash, but the burial on the road. That one, it got scary.
Thank you so much. So we'll go on our last issue. But again, let's just announce the number. So fellow Liberians.
Please. Okay, announce the number. Then I can come in, please.
Before you
but 2 hours going now, Prince.
Yeah. Fellow Liberians, so you can just give us a call on 443-991-3356. Those issues that we talked about, you can have your say on it. Again, the number to call is out here, 443-991-3356. Is that number to call, and then if you have a question or comment or concern, you can put it, through. Again, 443-991-3356 is that number to call and, air your view or have your say on this. Yeah, my brother Roland, you want to say something?
Yeah, so I agree with what the woman was saying, and I agree with him. But I got another different perspective on that. That is, the traffic management team in Liberia that is not owned by Liberians. That's one aspect. Now the next aspect is that you got the police that's supposed to protect every aspect of our life in our country. But they got another section of police, what they call them the highway police, where you always find them Harrisburg. That the only place you find the highway police. How do they identify car that is on SSSP leaving from Bon County towards Maserati? So at the end of the day, that's why you see most of the accidents that occur on the highway is in that range between Bon County and let's say Bon County to Maserati Highway. So the highway police is not doing anything. They just sit down right around that carriage belt. You enter there, you get a gift drop. In the evening hour, everybody come back to Maserati. They don't even know what happening on the highway. At the end of the day, they say, yeah, we come on working. They give them budget for that. They're not even identifying what causing more accidents to occur. The next thing is the police, they continue to lie to us. What happened to the boot that Greg come out talking about to ERW Junction there? What happened to that police boot that said that camera that could capture that 30,000 boot that could capture the both junction, anything that happened there, they will just remain inside and just capture the picture and tell you, say, this is where accident occur, and then this is what happened to the other junction. What happened to it? Have they come out to ask you what happened to that police, that 30,000 police boot? So,
You still believe in that moving, man?
Yeah, you still want to talk about
Okay. So again, fellow Liberian, the number to call is 443-991. But let's close on this issue, on this how you call Sam Jackson issue. I just want to hear from us. I know we've been following it because it has been the center of somebody would say national discussion. People have been discussing it. I just want to hear your take on this. And I want to start with our brother Wise. I don't know if you've been following the Sam Jackson issue. He lost his wife. And again, our deepest condolences to the family of Mr. Jackson and also, the family of the wife. We want to say our deepest condolences to the family. We, are saddened by her death. A very energetic, young and very spirited, young lady. But I am concerned, and I would just say, ma, with the way and manner in which the government is taking this issue. But again, let me just hear from my brother Wise. Wise, what is it you are hearing? What is your own take on all of these issues? We saw a friend of Samuel Jackson, Barron went out there and said he had been knowing this man and blah, blah, blah. In fact, he called the police. And I want to believe that the way and manner in which this case is being handled is based on the call that he made to his friend Gregory Coleman. But let's hear from you. What are you hearing? What are you getting from this entire Sam Jackson issue? What is your own take, sir? Thank
Well, firstly, the loss of any life should be of concern to every well-meaning Liberian and just anyone who cares. And in this case, it's a loss of life of a female. So somebody like myself who have all sisters, I strongly want to extend my condolences to Mrs. Jackson and her family, and this has nothing to do with what country you come from. The laws, like every land has laws, and the laws should be upheld. So the case is being investigated, and we saw the other day when they invited Mr. Jackson to the Liberia National Police headquarters, and they have a 48-hour stipulation for which he had to be released. And it happens here in America for those who live here. We see that they invite you and you provide statements, you make statements, and based on whatever information you provide, they let you go. And if need be, they have to re-invite you to the police station for further investigation. And there's no secret. The circumstances under which the lady died, they are highly questionable, and everyone who knows best that the people who are closer to you are the first people look up to, and this is void of politics. I see people in the corridor in so many places saying, "Oh, they should not do this. Government is, being a little lopsided with this issue because it's Mr. Jackson today, and yesterday they did not query those who like the likes of Brian McGill who allegedly raped somebody, and someone like myself. I strongly oppose rape. I strongly oppose Brian what he was alleged of doing. I strongly oppose people who sodomize our young boys. But let's not get it twisted. This issue and the circumstances under which the lady died, it has to be investigated strongly. And if someone is held culpable, if it means that they spend the rest of their life in jail, they have to spend the rest of their life in jail. We cannot play politics out of this. So, Mr. Jackson, I hope it is my ardent hope that he didn't have any foul play, but no one can outrightly say he did or something that warranted her death. But at the same token, from all that what we are seeing up to today, we know her death is highly questionable, and I admonish this government to continue to press on the issues until it is resolved and we know what actually happened to her.
So
That would be
before we
my.
go to our brother Jake, there are others who are saying we saw the incident, like you just said. We saw the incident of Peter Bonjala also, someone who allegedly sodomized a 16 years old boy. We did not see the police being deployed at his home or on the crime scene or whatever. We did not see that. We also saw what happened with J. Brian McGill. We did not see the police being deployed, at the crime scene or even quarantine the crime scene. The little girl alleged that the incident happened in his office. We did not see the police quarantine those areas because, by right, in my view, that's how it's supposed to be. When especially a crime scene is identified, that place should be quarantined and the necessary investigation be carried on there so as to ascertain whether there are samples of whatever in that particular area.
Yeah,
That we
Prince.
did not see. But unfortunately, with this Samuel Jackson is what we are seeing. So you think people who are raising the concern that the government is being political on this to the extent of even releasing pictures of the deceased from the government, do you think that they have a justifiable reason to say that this is to some extent political before
Yeah,
we
Prince, they do
come
not.
to the
And
line here?
no, in my estimation, they do not. And here's one reason why. I'm of the belief that you live in a great United States. Whenever there's a crime scene that involves the death of somebody, they even go a little further. The area has to be barricaded, the area has to be secure and not tampered with. Like people going in and out of that facility should be trained professional, like forensic professional, people, even police experts that investigators, they have to deal with that scene, and it's a normal thing for people to be deployed around such an area. That area become well protected, so it's not anything new to people like us who live in structured country like the USA to see police around it. But I will agree with anyone who think that Peter Bonjala should have been investigated, which he was. But the truth remains is people who are fair to themselves will never support wrong. Like for instance, people sodomizing our young boys, people raping our young girls. No intelligent person will see such heinous act against children and turn a blind eye to that. We'll always call it out. Like our very outspoken, I wanted McGill investigated thoroughly, and I wanted Peter Bonjala to be investigated thoroughly, and I stand by that, and I stand by the investigation that is ongoing today. Like I either alluded, the circumstances involving her death, they are highly questionable, and I hope she get the sole justice that she deserves, and we look for as the case unravel.
Thank you. So before we go to our brother Jake, we have our sister here on the line who is a very regular contributor to the show, and we do appreciate all of her concern, her comments, and every other thing. So our sister Cecilia is here. Hi, Cecilia. How are you?
Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Thank you guys in studio for the great show.
thank you.
Yes, I just wanted to make my contribution concerning the border issue.
Definitely. You have the floor.
Yeah, because it is very paramount to our country and our existence as Liberian.
Sure.
Like our brother, we said that we don't want any war, and it is not only because we experienced 14 years of war, and also he stated that because we don't have the military might to fight him. For me, even if we have the military might, I don't think it would be logical for us to go to a battle with our neighboring country, because that would be it would be an animosity between the both of us for a very long time. Maybe it will be forever.
Sure.
So I believe the diplomatic means is important, and we should consider on that path for us that are living now and for our unborn generation to come.
Sure.
And yeah, but the issue of the our brother Roland said that the Guinean president made a promise to his people that he was going to take all of their lands that are being occupied by other people. Now, the reason for which this land issue is unfolding now, it is not because of the promise that he made, that the Guinean president made, the promise that he made to his people. It is because of the illegal mining that Francis Newmally and others started doing. Okay, we go back to the George Weah time. During the Weah's administration, they asked the Guinean government at the time to mine sand from that very river to build the Foya City Hall that they have now today. And the mine sand, there was no problem. There was absolutely no problem. And this new administration, the Boakai's administration, they also asked to mine sand from that area to build the $10 million project that is ongoing now in Foya. And they also gave them green light to go ahead and mine sand. While they were there mining sand to build the Foya project, they've decided to stretch their hand further to start doing illegal mining, started taking gold and diamond from that place. That is where the problem is coming from. And when the Guinean government noticed it, they sent a warning to Boakai. There was a communication that was written to our president before, even before the equipments were seized, and even before the Guinean army marched on our soil and took down our flag and planted a flag. There were communications that were sent to our government. The reason why Wilmon Pay was relieved from his post was because of the same problem, because he was the Lands and Mines Minister. He was relieved from his post when he found out that Francis Newmally was illegally mining gold and diamond from that place. He had a problem with it. He said, let us put Liberia first. If you notice, when he was relieved from his post, his wife made a post thanking him for his time of serving the country and for putting Liberia first before any individual. That was the reason, because he spoke truth to power. The clandestine took him out of his post. Now, this is not about CDC or Unity Party. This is about Liberia. Before these political parties came to being, we were Liberians. We were Liberia. Liberia was always there, and Liberia will always be there.
Definitely.
Let everything be for country's interest. It should not be for party's interest or for our, we always say, the man is in our camp. This person is in our camp. This has nothing to do with anybody being in our camp. Some of us lost loved ones, our people, during the war. I had my immediate older brother who died during the war. Since he left, early that morning, he said he was going to walk on the road. He and myself was lying down on the floor in our mother's room. Our mom went out to look for bread for us to eat that day, look for food, because we are not eating for days. He left me. He said, Cecilia, I'm going to walk on the road. Since my brother, my immediate older brother, he was just 15 years old. Since he went to walk on the road, he is still walking on our road. Nobody ever came back to us to tell us whether they saw his body or whether they did not see his body. Every time when I see Wise come on the show, because he reminds me all the time about my brother, they look exactly the same. The only difference, my brother was a bit lighter than him. One time I was even making joke with my younger brother. Say, "Oh, I can see my brother on the show," and we'll be laughing. The only difference, my brother never had open teeth. That is the difference. So this is not about whether Liberia has the military might. Even if we had more than military might to crack down Guinea, I don't think going to war with Guinea is the best thing, because it would be a generational war. It would be like what is happening in Israel and Iran. Now the war will not be finished. Let me tell you, Muslim people, they don't joke with anything. You be forced with them, or you're getting to any battle that forever I said will not even settle it. So we don't want war. But what we want is for our government to do right now. Let the government do the right thing. Let the government do the right thing. And the peaceful part about it now is that if Boakai could rush to relieve Raymond Pay from his post because he was trying to put his country first. And now Boakai still got Francis Nimade comfortably, fully employed, gainfully employed in his administration, only because Francis Nimade is his older sister's son. So you see the nepotism that we are talking about. The same thing Ellen was doing, that's the same thing he himself is doing. He still got Francis Nimade, still employed. He did not even say, okay, let me even, and how you call it, to even, suspend him. But the man is still fully employed. He's there shielding the man. Even though Nimade was shot at the border. When the thing took place, after the Liberian children went and planted the flag, the next day when the Guinean soldiers came, they shot one of our Liberian brothers' foot. The ball foot now, he's going under treatment.
So to just come in, Francis Akila Nyimale is fully employed, enjoying every benefits and etc. from this government. While the company, let's even agree, let's play the devil advocate, that the company that was paying due, let's agree that Francis don't have any dealing with it for now. But the company that was paying due, paying taxes, to operate legally, that company have been stopped from doing any other work, while Francis Akila Nyimale is still enjoying himself.
He's still fully employed.
Wow.
He's still fully enjoying taxpayers' dollars, enjoying the protection of our president. Imagine if this thing had happened on a weird time, but now protest upon protest.
I know.
They have to the White House talking about him stepping down. They insulting his grandmother, his mom, his Jamaican wife, telling him how he thinks he uses his foot to think he doesn't have brain.
I know.
If we are Lateran, we'll always be Lateran. But let us call a spade a spade.
Thank you.
This is my contribution to the show.
Thank you so very kindly. Let's go to our last caller here. We're going to take our last caller, our brother Teddy Lion Yakun. Welcome, sir. Hello, Teddy. Hello, Teddy.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thanks, brother. Thanks, brother. I've been following the show.
Thank you. Let's hear from you, sir.
Yeah, it's Teddy Lion Yakun from Fargo, North Dakota.
Okay.
Oh well, I was a little bit slightly, I understand what it is. This is I just learned from there. What you said. We got to take time. But it has reached to a level where we cannot just remain silent and just look at people that keep advancing into our land. Because our land on Spoon Show today, the correspondent from the borderline, people have crossed the river. They are gone into another town, and they are advancing to another town. On the scene, the people will keep advancing. Okay. She made a little be careful, with the Muslim countries, things like that, or the like Israel, Palestine. Definitely, that's why they're trying to portray around it. Our closest neighbor, Guinea, we have treated them nicely through everything. But the perception of the people, or some of the people there, the religious perception, can be exploited by outside forces in a way that we can be divided and fight them ourselves. You see, man by nature is not wicked, but due to religious basis, it changes his intellect. We're not wicked. We're not born to be wicked and kill each other, but because of religious basis, what we know best we can have a different perception or connotation towards our fellow men. And we should be careful. We have grown up with love. But that deep relational perception can your own closest brother or friend can go against you. Us as forces can use it. We got countries where we are Christians, we are Muslims, but we have missionaries that coming to us in Africa to help, doctrinize about the religion. So all these things too, we have to take into consideration and we look at our Pan-African, love, Pan-Africanness. We shouldn't forego that for religious perception. We should always hold on to that because this our forefathers that agree upon. This is why they do young men who want to come and create the animosity. Before I saw these things, they left it like that, but he's coming from France. And as a leader, it's not all over the whole Republic of Guinea right now. It's not Guinea left on France, but Guinea, a country that left on France and was well connected with the Russians. They had an agreement with the point a long time, Okay, but in order to go all that, my own advice, I would like for we in the diaspora now should take the thing into our hands now, intellectually, and start engaging the State Department. We talk about our people were coerced, people use force. France always were in were trying to take those lands, here in Liberia, take places. So they see people were coerced our parents, our people in the past, and took those land. Then they used that colonial master to coerce whatsoever representative that went to or ambassador. We got to confront the State Department so they can go back into that agreement. What happened in the past? Because since we cannot fully defend ourselves and start asking our neighbors, like Nigeria, the AU, to really, we in the diaspora now should start networking to see how best we can handle this matter. We have to handle it. If the people have crossed our land, even though we know French human there, Joseph Boakai there, I don't want to, but I can't special discussion on Boakai. Boakai is now a correct man, very criminal man. But they don't know the problem between them, so they decide to exploit it. I don't know if they have a Liberia or they want to divide Liberia. Now they're building mansion in Koya. Now they're selling the piece of land, giving all the Guinea, making those come agreement. So who knows what are the Salvadorian president and Joseph Boakai, they have this Guinean connection. Joseph Boakai kissing man, the guy kissing boy in Guinea. Where you really after it from? You're from one of those countries. So we should look at all these scenarios. And also too, the two young men, the people in Guinea, not everybody really like him. When the man in which he took power. And he used the scenarios to remain in power, and Boakai also to use the scenarios to remain in power too. Or anything happens, his nephew takes over. And also we should be very careful. Nima country too, without back. If we ever gone buried in Liberia, if anything really push to come to shove, push to shove, based on that particular the vice president will take over or not, or any resistance from the South, Joseph Boakai and people to make the vice president to not take over, then when people will know where the gun will come from in Liberia. You will see a lot of gun. You did Prince Johnson was alive and poor Nima, the fought was what's the word? You did, I don't know, it's not right. You did, people that are prepared to, but if you preach on the poor illegally, that way you know that they will bounce back, and when that bounce back, then they will try to get involved into something. But also too, we should look at the State Department and start and get our connections in America. Colonel Master, former President George Weah, what's the people to look into the particular matter because this animosity Guinea is creating. President Weah, other people will take it like that, but tomorrow will have to be leader in that country, kind of power. It was so fast. Our talking about the power that in our hands, and Liberians who don't have the power really will take action. And once they got the better to bring power and give it shooting, they should remember what is doing in Liberia today. Liberians are looking at this.
Thank you so very kindly. I beg you, your blood shooting ball line will hold your full. Yeah, hold on there. So let's go to our brother Jake. Yeah, my brother Jake. On this issue of the reckless, driving and other stuff, let's hear from you, sir, as you conclude for
Yeah,
now.
let me just dive into the Samuel Jackson story. It's more very laborious. But let me say something. I will be honest on this platform. When Malam Ellen just, you see, the Unity Party, they crumbling in every form. They like it or not, a reality. Like followers then will come, they will insult. Everything that crumbling in our on our watch. On the press, God will do things different. On our watch, the first branch of government got on fire, the capital building. Women rule all in the country, no way out for the Unity Party. Now Guinea waging small war against us because of the weakness of the president. He's not in control. You see, the one left by the Unity Party people, most of them don't identify as Unity Party. No. CDC proud to wear beret, they wear this, they wear this, they identify themselves. They will be all in a corner. They are feeling, hey, they're ruling the country, but they're feeling bad. Seriously. Everything we are now we are patriot. All our country. We will love Liberia. During George Weah time, I never see no division ever in our land. Then George Weah time, they divided the country. They spread like an octopus on the social media. The Henry Costa on the side, all of them spreading gibberish. We learned some kind of video here before we start the show. Intro here with President George Weah telling the people about the 16 billion missing money, that gibberish. The people got on the internet, they spread lies, propaganda, smear. Even those in the Western world, they were all to the warehouse. They're sinning in, lying to the Liberian people. So what Savage they from Canada talking about war crime code today, that government crumbling in front of them, Liberia in disarray. The country troubling country, never happened in our world before. In modern history, Ellen passed that torch. But St. George took the mantle. They did that singing to Samuel do. Today, they crumbling, they inside, they boiling inside, nothing working for them. How about the military men that died, Prince? What Greco Kumona? I'm not talking about rape. Let me Brian McGaden. That Samuel Jackson story, Gloria Musu's Scarton story. They put politics in everything. They lie on Jefferson Kochi. I'll always say the Unity Party is naked. They them blackboard, nothing working for them. A reality, everything they put politics inside. See the amount of people that went to Samuel Jackson Hall because he was strong. He went against them. He went with Ellen Johnson Sally. Samuel Jackson went. He knew Boakai. He knew who is Boakai. Ellen Johnson Sally. Other than know who is Boakai. Kofi Woolston. Other than know who is Boakai. Today, that man died. Presidential Affairs Minister died. Today, nobody know what killed him. Prince Joseph died on that watch. Nobody know, no autopsy. But during George Weah time, Princess Coppola, then they were shouting all in the corridor of the country. They are naked, nothing working for them. The country trembling, inflation on higher level. That the facts here are preaching here that the facts, they can be in denial whatsoever. When the Gafan get angry, can say bread and butter issue will buy bread, put butter inside and share to the Liberian people. Because they don't know what they got bread and butter issue. You know what Samuel took the Liberian economy from? On Ellen Johnson Sally, the other than were minister before Gafan. Amara Kone, they have budget shortfall. They sank the Liberian economy. Today, Boakai racing, Jordan racing up. So propaganda they spread that are unhate playing on them today. We're not siding with the Unity Party. The country is divided. They divide the country. Since Georgia told the matter authority, it will remain like that. Nobody will succumb to them. If Guinea fighting war, the Unity Party people were dressing green to go fighting, to go facing that war first. It's not about land, no man, not about sovereignty. You're not being real yet. It's time for fire. And the Unity Party caused all this drama.
Liberians that will suffer, like you're saying, fire for fire. Let's even agree that when we take that out, don't you think that we'll just be in a cycle of hate?
Yeah, that be inside. We're not patriot. No, we're not patriot. We're not patriot. Oh no, Joe, they were not patriot. They were breaking ballots all on the street, lies
So let's
upon lies.
agree. Should we continue in that route?
Yes,
Then
the country belonged to everybody. That's how they wanted the country to be. Because they saw another guy from different side, not the power of the elite. Prince, they didn't see to the left on your door. They see Ellen Johnson sitting next to my brother, executive mansion with barely 24 hours. They brought us a Prince civil war on us today. But you're finna forgetting? You're finna forgetting the so-called elites then? The so-called elites then? All of them lie. They wrote that 1986 constitution, that racist constitution they wrote because of their own benefit. Prince, how the country will be. Nobody patriot no more. Nobody. It will bring down, it will bring down. They will start to face it. That reality. That reality.
Let somebody be patriot. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go to our brother Ruling. Our brother Ruling on the yeah, let's hear from you on the Samuel Jackson issue as you round up on your end. Let's hear from you.
Okay, thank you. I agree with my brother. Nobody will be patriot person in our country. For me, I'm not patriot. Yeah, I already make it clear. I already draw my line. I will not be patriot. If you like, that's it. If you don't like, if you look at me, tell me more Liberian than me, no problem.
Yes.
But as far as my mother from here, my father from here, I was born here, and everything. Even my grandfather, every one of them, they are Liberian. So a level, Jesus Christ King, and people never preach good thing about Jesus Christ. Then what more about me? So I tell you something serious. Let's say, for example, let's look at what happening now globally and look at what happened in Liberia with the denial of gas. During former president, we are administration. When we were facing the same problem, what they said, oh, the labor now you to run the country. In fact, they may not even get connection. They didn't take Ebola into consideration. They didn't take coronavirus into consideration. The next aspect, they didn't take how do you call it? Ukraine and Russia war into consideration. And Russia war into consideration. So they took everything. They said, oh, if the men are capable, they make it do this, they make it do that. So now you denigrated the main government. You made the main government to be looking like to the international community, like he's not doing anything. Boakai then protested. So now it reached a time you want for me to go stand and say, yeah, I eating bread with butter, everybody living free life, people living luxurious life in Liberia. I will never do it. I will never do it. In fact, they are the cause of the gas price in Liberia increase. It is not the word I say. They lied to the Liberians people. They said they brought over metric tons of gas. Then why increase gas price? Why you increase gas price when you got over metric tons of gas in Liberia? You know, the people can lie to the extent that they don't even know how to lie. Seriously, I'm telling you. Just recently, their videos, they're circulating now. They want to take the video down. They said, oh, guys, we got gas supply, Liberia. Now go out of gas.
Yeah, gas supply,
That's the question to them. And the next thing is that, let's come back to the Samuel Jackson case. It is highly political. Anybody who does not see it, I'll draw a line. You're going to see why it is highly political. Samuel Jackson case is highly political. The very first thing, did the police recognize that home as a crime scene? Do they recognize that place as a crime scene? And when you recognize a place as a crime scene, what are some of the criteria you put into place? Is it to send gunmen to the house? Where you see family member, gunmen only outside of the fence. But inside you see family member going in, coming outside, different type of people going in, coming outside. Is that how they do in the Western community that you people living in? That's not it. They don't do it like that. When you recognize a place as a crime scene, nobody is allowed to go there.
Nobody can push it.
They have that tape that they will wrap around that entire place and tell you, say, this place is a no-go zone because the place is a crime scene. But the police said that place is a crime scene. They sent armed police there. When they send the armed police there, they never go in there and tell the people, say, everybody have to leave the place because the place has been recognized as a crime scene. They never do that. They allow the movement of people, different type of people are coming in. Who can tell us that whether some of the material was taken from inside there? Who can tell us that maybe somebody extra went and did some things? That's another aspect. The second one is where in this world I'm a suspect, or maybe let's say I'm a suspect or a person of interest. You call me and say, my man, you are a person of interest. You have to come to the police station. And then I tell you, say, arrest you, give me some time. Yeah? And the police accepted. They accepted that. You understand? How thing that happened to somebody The person tells you, "But me arresting." Can it happen to you in the Western world that you will do something, Mr. Sherry? Then police call you.
You know, they even gotta call you to pick you up.
Thank you. That's the point. See that? Like for me, if I call story right now, Gregor come on, not come on no more. The police come out for where I live, will not come on no more. The very first thing they can pick me outside, they will not even tell my family. They will just call me straight. They came into the police station. But the place communication to you tell you say you have to come to the police station. You say them, and then when you place communication to the man, it pass hour before you can even deploy. So what if that man who did it by that time the man will not leave the country? So that come again. The second aspect again, you said the man you have to carry on some tests. Why you say that you went to do some tests at the you went to see the body? You didn't consult him. The next thing is the photo that are flying all on social media. Who gave that photo up? These are questions, critical questions. It is only you who were inside there or you went in there with other media group that today the photo is flowing all around. That's another aspect of it. The next thing is the police RG want to use the case as a means to be like he's a serious police RG when it comes to investigation, very serious, wherein there are a lot of critical things that are happening. The lady that they shot her son, that they said the guy has problem in the interhouse. Today the lady nothing come from out of it. You see that? And the next aspect why I said the case is politically motivated. Gregor Como accepted a group of people to go there in the name of protest for justice. He accepted them. He accepted those people. He spoke with them. But when people go for rape issue, he can't accept them to speak with them. He sent police to disperse those people. You understand? You see you see how the entire stuff look like?
Even disabled people, you know, bring armed men to the disabled people.
Thank you. Disabled people will go protest for their own money, what they're supposed to receive from the government. They will say armed people to disperse them. And people will go and say, let's go protest for rape, let rape stop. They will say armed people against them. But when Samuel Jackson own people sue and say, we want justice, and then you accepted them when you stood there.
Because they were paid agent.
So, my brother, it is politically motivated. Let me tell you, the way they treat the case, that's what made people to know that they are doing one or two things. You know, let me close with this. You know that the Liberian government in the court and said that what happened, the fire incident that happened to the Capitol building, the people that they brought, they don't know the company name. They stood in court and said they don't know the company that they brought to investigate the fire incident. They don't know the company name, and the company name is Rescue Fire Alliance. The Fire Rescue Alliance. That's the company that they brought. But they stood in court and said that they don't know the company name. And nothing they did to them because they said they don't know the company name. I hire a company from out of Liberia. I pay them to do a perceived work in Liberia. I say, I don't know the company name. I will provide the company name in the next hearing. Are we serious with ourselves in our country? We are not serious with ourselves. You see that? So every case that is the way they handle the case, we see like something that, you know, like it is politically motivated. Let's say, for example, somebody was telling me, say, oh, man, you don't be talking this. We have faced how you call it to the airport. I think the VIP lodge. He faced it. Why you think we are never use that place? And then somebody will tell us it's not politically motivated. It is politically motivated. The president told the minister of state that look, that I born not pass to that place. And today they never giving green light, and they are not giving you green light to pass there. So we say it's not politically motivated. Everything that is done under this government. Somebody told me last night. Let me say this. One pastor, and I always said to Mr. Sherry, I told you, I said, what the pastor say, Joseph Boakai never take that serious. The pastor said, when you allow Joseph Boakai to win, calamity will fall in the land. The rich will suffer, the poor will suffer, the Irish people will suffer. Boakai having to be somebody from the Christian background, somebody put that kind of more in your country. When you took over, the fire disaster that took place in Boakai, if I were Boakai, I could say that go to church, like people would pray. That was going to be the first thing. But you know that Boakai not even respecting the council of how you call it, the council of churches in our country. Boakai not even respecting the council of churches. There is no church in Liberia that Boakai is respecting. Now one year say Liberia, how you call it, our ally is Israel. You know that Boakai voted against Israel before. Boakai voted against Israel. Eddie Jones said he voted against Israel. So is it the same person you say ally with Israel? Let him go there, the record will come up. What are the Israeli that we against it before on international law?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother. Let's hear from our brother Wise as we take our lead. My brother Wise, thank you
Yeah,
so much. Let's hear
certainly.
from Wise.
Well, firstly, I wish Jake was here because I'm gonna refute some of the statements Jake earlier made, and I hope he's following if he's not even on physically with us.
He's following.
Oh, awesome. Jake said something about the 1986 Constitution. I stand to be corrected. My former church mate from St. Stephen Episcopal Church, 10th Street, Cinco, Dr. Emma Claudia Sawyer was the one who I believe led the drafting of that Constitution. And my memory serves me right, he has never been a member of the Unity Party. I think he hails from LPP, Liberian People Party. And Samuel Doe, who may have been the one to have led the instructions of that, because you remember the 1980 coup, it was led by Master Sergeant Samuel Doe. And thereafter, they wanted a revised constitution, and Dr. Sawyer led that, being one of the most reputable Liberian leaders, and he happened to serve thereafter as interim president. He was a member of the interim government post-war. So I just had to clear that out, and I hope, Jake, you are following. So that was not Unity Party, and I'm not a UPIS. I made it clear here, but I had to clarify that. And I found some contradiction, even though my brother Roland, you made some salient points, but there was some contradiction. On one hand, you are saying the government is a little bit lenient with regard to the Samuel Jackson and his wife's saga. And on another point, you are saying the government should do more to be harsh and clamor down on stuff like that in the scene. Let's say, for instance, you said, I'll take it your way. Let me tell you why I say the contradiction. The government is not pressing hard, and they're being a little bit soft. They're lying Samuel Jackson, to slap with some of the things regarding to how the scene is being taken care of. They're not really doing much about it. Like the whole area has to be barricaded, like you see in the United States of America, places are barricaded and things are done to have. But then on the other hand, he's saying, oh, because it is Samuel Jackson today who was aligned with CDC and opposes this government, the government is being hard on him. So you have to take one position when it comes to this kind of matter, which is, I think my stance on this is nothing but the fairest. Yes, the fair statement. Regardless of where the lady hails from, whether from South Africa or wherever country, I think her death remains questionable. And I think we should call on our government, we should call on our people to press on this issue until it is remedied and she gets the justice that she deserves. There's no way on God's earth, in my mind, I would think that she was not, she didn't die on some very questionable circumstances. And we see all that's unfolded. We hear people talking about because the epilepsy, we understand that, but I don't know how that explains the kind of physical marks on her body, and while her eyes are so red with like blood sat in her eye when she lost her life. So those are the things that I'm looking at, and I'm not looking at the person that is accusing finger. Of course, we're always going to point to him, Mr. Samuel Jackson, because he's the closest to the deceased. So I think we should all stand by the government on this matter. I have sisters, and I think we will always stand with women, irrespective of where she hailed from. We must stand by the government, and the government should be firm and investigate this matter. And I think if Mr. Jackson is culpable, he should be able to face the full weight of the law. If he's not culpable, he should be exonerated, and everything should be remedied. That way, it brings closure to the family, her family, and to the minds of South African, because they are following the case closely. Don't forget, she's a learning person from that country, and she was in our country, and they're going to follow it to the letter. And I stand with that, and I stand with all those who are in solidarity with how she lost her life. I want to retire there. And my brother, because of family obligations, I think I'll retire here for now. And I appreciate you always affording me the opportunity to come on your platform and to to the panelists that are off now and that were on earlier, and my brother Roland, I really appreciate sharing the platform with you guys. You guys are exceptionally awesome, and we look forward to more exchanges. I'm a person who, you know, share a different view than you guys, but I respect all of your views, and I hope that you all see it the same and respect my view that we are all Liberian. We are fighting for one thing: our common patrimony in Liberia to be a better place, irrespective of our political lineage. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. So on this issue, fellow Liberians of Samuel Jackson, I want to retire like this. I, as one individual, see this thing as being political. And these are the reasons why I am saying that it is political. The video or the pictures that are circulating, that have been put out there by the government, it is intended to bring down a guilty verdict in the court of public opinion against Samuel Jackson. I will in no way support violence against women. In no way. I detest that. I oppose that. And I think that has no place or should not be given any space in our own society. Should not be given space. But you see, this is why we continue to say it is political and the government continue to expose herself. Peter Bonjala, who sodomized a 16 years old boy, left this boy to die, took him on the beach and dropped him there. The police of Joseph Newman Boakai did not go to his house. Let's quarantine the house or wherever the place is to do investigation. Let assign police there. You know where they assign the police? They assign the police to the victim house. This is how evil these people are. The police were not assigned to the place the incident happened. The place they committed the act. The place they sodomized the boy. The police didn't go there to quarantine that place. But you know where they send the police? They send the police to the victim mother house. The place they send the police. All of these pictures that you see them putting out with the sister, you know, with bruises on her eyes and the rest of it. Can you look at that picture, especially judging from the underlying health condition she has, or she had, sorry. Can you judge from that particular picture that those bruises that you saw or you are seeing on the picture, that they were inflicted on her by Jackson? Can you look at the picture and just deduce? Also, by seeing somebody with, look, don't get me wrong. For me, I detest that seriously, and I oppose it. People beating on women. I'm not involved into that, and I don't support it. But judging from her health, you know, challenges she had, I think they call epilepsy. Maybe some of you have never been near somebody that maybe is affected by that. But some of us, we have seen people who had that particular medical condition, and we know what can happen. I've seen people who even fell in fire. People, they fell down in fire. I've seen people who fell and they hit their head on things. I've seen people who fell in hot water. Different kind of terrible incident. I have seen it before with this thing of epilepsy. So because the government now want to, for in the court of public opinion, for this man to be guilty, they took picture wherever that picture came from, whoever that sent it, they took the picture and put it on Facebook. They put that picture on Facebook. They get people like Julius Barron calling and indicting. Look, I am not supporting Samuel Jackson or anybody. I believe that yes, justice must be done to all. But unfortunately, what is happening is not justice from the government. It's witch hunt. Let's call the spade a spade. It's witch hunt. They went there, they can't even respect the dead. The dead, they can't even respect. They went there, took the woman picture, took all kind of pictures, and start posting it to their how you call their bloggers to put it on Facebook. What kind of disrespect is that? Some of us never thought that the police would be so unprofessional as it is under Joseph Nyuma Boakai and Gregory Como. You know why? Because the police force, while it is true that there were challenges, but we saw significant progress being made. We saw police feeding protesters under the government of His Excellency President Dr. George Weah. We saw police engaging with protesters in a peaceful manner under the regime of His Excellency President Dr. George Weah. We saw the police engage in what we call friendly dialogue with aggrieved group of people. We saw that. And we were excited from the signs that we saw under the government of President George Weah. We were comfortable that we are heading somewhere. But look at today where we are. The nation is in a complete chaos. You get police officers massacring people in Kinjor, and nothing came of it. Today you get people like Queen Johnson who murdered another Liberian only because of his political view. Today Queen Johnson, guess where she is? She in Freeport. She enjoying herself, jumping around, writing nonsense on Facebook, while the family of Joshua are in tears. Today you get people like Francis Sakila Nyimale, who after inflicting pains on another family, taking away the life of another Liberian, Tamba Momo in Lofa. Today he say the internal affairs minister is passing around. Look, you see how swag can follow behind people. Sometimes people have this saying, they say, look, it's not everybody that you can hurt and you think you will walk away with impunity. It's not everybody that you can inflict pains on and you think that all will be okay. No. Today, look at what we are seeing. Tamba Momo was murdered in Lofa, his own hometown, only because he associates with the CDC. Francis Sakila Nyimale proudly walked away with dignity with the murder of another Liberian. He was given an opportunity to serve. People like Darius Delon said, oh, you know, we can't indict the man because the man said yes, and blah, 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 and all the other things. And they gave him position. Today, the same Francis Akila Nyimale is now bringing war on Liberia. You see what is happening? When you think that you love this child, when you think that you love this evil, this is what can happen. But you think we are strange? We are stranger to these things? Joseph Nyuma Boakai is using Francis Akila Nyimale to carry on all of his dirty work. I said it here before, and thank God that people are not getting it. You think why was Woman Pay removed as Lands and Mines Minister? It wasn't because he disrespected the law of the land. It was because he was trying to protect the law of the land against greed, against unpatriotic behavior from Joseph Nyuma Boakai through Francis Akila Nyimale. And Joseph Nyuma Boakai said, oh, they man gotta go. You want to get a chance for all to do our day. You know, under the regime of how you call Wemope, the way you are farming these people. When you go somewhere and see any illegal mining, he sees their material, he found them. You know how much government was getting? And that got to people like Francis Akila Nyimale, who is the middleman with Joseph Nyuma Boakai Mining Company. And at the end of the day, say, you're telling me to start. Wemope say, I'm a patriot. I'm working for the country. Is that they ain't working for the country? We sack you. You think we don't know that? Today, the Francis Akila Nyimale who spilled blood in Lofa County and nothing came of it is the same person for whose benefit. Today, again, another blood has been spilled on our soil. A snapper from Guinea shot the leg of a Liberian. Francis Sakila Nyimale is a curse. And this man will continue to put our nation in harm's way because his uncle Joseph Nyuma Boakai is comfortable with him. But fellow Liberians, it is unfortunate. All we can do is to explain to you what is obtaining. Time have caught up with us and we gotta go. But until we meet again, I love you all. Let's get ready for the CDC USA convention, which will be held in Philadelphia. CDC USA convention will be held in Philadelphia from the 24th to the 28th of 2026. All of you are invited. Civilians, prepare yourself. We are going to be in Pennsylvania from the 24th to the 28th of June. This year convention, we're going to be having our national elections. So if you are a civilian in any one of the states, get connected to your state chapter because the only people that will be allowed to vote are people who are from the state. So if you are in the DMV, we are also here in the DMV area. You know our number, 443-991-3356. Get to us so that we can be able to add you to the chapter. If you are a civilian living in Washington, D.C., Virginia, and that of Maryland, do not waste time. Get to us. You already know the number, 443-991-3356, so that we can immediately get you connected to the chapter. But my people want to say thanks to all of you. Until we meet again, I want to play you this song. And this song is, it's a song that I really, really, really like. Yeah, it's a song that I really like. And this music, I want to play it for all of our sisters, all of our mothers. I want to play this music for all of our mothers. I mean, all of our mothers. Yeah. Let's play this. Yeah.
You're my sweet, sweet red rose. My heart belongs to you.
All right. I want to play this for all of you. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support. This is for all, this is for all of us.
My heart belongs to you. Let nobody steal you away from me. I wanna be close to you. I wanna get next to you. I wanna make you understand that I was meant to be your man. Don't you go away from me, 'cause I really love your way, and I want you to believe you away from me.
On this note, we want to say thanks to each and every one of you. And we want to say bye from our end. We love you all. Thank you so much. All right, okay. So bye to all of you. And this is dedicated to all of our brothers, all of our sisters. Yeah. Until we meet again, I love you all.
We want to encourage those who want to remain corrupt and steal money, that I beg them. The money should be used to bless our people. Thank you and God bless.